The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
We ready? Yeah. We ready? Yeah. We ready? Yeah.
It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Across the Eastern Panhandle, or wherever you may be tuning in, welcome into Cougar Stadium. We're in Shenandoah Junction, West Virginia, for the only game in the Eastern Panhandle this weekend. It is the Hurricane Redskins coming from the opposite corner of the state to take on the Jefferson Cougars. For Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 Sports, I am Matt Crawford, joined by Matt Miller. Our main cameraman tonight is John Alderton. On the sideline, our on-site producer and sideline cameraman is Colin McLaughlin. And back at the studio is Donald Kenny. Well, Matt mentioned it. The only game in the Eastern Panhandle this week. We thought we were going to be traveling to John Marshall tomorrow to see the Washington Patriots take on the Monarchs of John Marshall. That game canceled today when Marshall County went to red. So this is the only show in town for the weekend, and what is the last week of the regular season across the Mountain State for high school football.
I hate to say it, it's somewhat of a fitting end to what has been a very unusual regular season and what may be an even more unusual postseason, depending on what the color code map says tomorrow and what the pairings for the playoffs say come Sunday morning. Either way, a chance for both of these teams to be a part of those playoff pairings. Of course, a win for Jefferson tonight would certainly help their cause, as right now they are number 19 in the latest WVSS AC computer ratings, a record of 3 wins and 5 losses through 8 games. Hurricane right now at number 13. They are 3-2, having played only 5 games, but Hurricane in a county that right now is struggling on that color code map. So even if they qualify, not sure if they're going to get that opportunity to play.
And we will go through the AAA rankings for the week as we get more into the pregame show, the postgame show, and the halftime show and the postgame show, and talk about just how many teams are in that same predicament right now. Well, Matt, this is a Hurricane team coming in that has just been wanting to get back on the field. The last time we saw them, we were actually at Hurricane down in the southern part of the state. It was Musselman on a Saturday afternoon taking on the Redskins, and since then just one game. So they're just trying to find games right now and hoping that they can be gold, yellow, or green come Saturday afternoon, and the parents coming out on Sunday.
Obviously, the thing you want in the game of football is to develop consistency, right? You play on Friday night. Kids know what's coming on Saturday. You're probably off on Sunday, and you're hitting the ground running on Monday. Certain practices on Tuesday into Wednesday with that walkthrough on Thursday. There's a consistency factor that is built into this game, and for the Hurricane Redskins, it has not been there at all this season. They opened back on September 4th with a win against Huntington, and then had 3 straight off weeks, then got back on the field for 4 straight games, including that matchup against Musselman, but then were off last week as Polka had to call it off at the last moment. And so now here is Hurricane today, finally getting a chance to play what will be game number 6 on the season.
And when you're looking at Jefferson, this is a team coming off of a tough one against Parkersburg last week, a game where each time they got within a score or two, you're going, okay, is this going to be the time the defense gets a stop and they get back into this football game? And just about the time they'd get back into it, the defense just wasn't able to get that key stop, and they're going to need a couple of those key stops in the defense to step up in this game. This is a Hurricane offense that can do it in a couple of different ways, a really dynamic offensive front.
Yeah, absolutely, and this Jefferson defense is not only going to have to rise to the occasion, but that offense is going to have to put some points on the board. 20 points last weekend in the loss at Parkersburg, 37-20, and a couple of tough turnovers, as well as some times where they were getting close to that red zone, moving the football, but again couldn't finish. As we've talked throughout the season with head coach Craig Hunter, now in his 8th year leading this Jefferson program, that has been the area where they've been trying to develop some consistency, and that is finishing drives.
We gave you the tease of what's going on in the Eastern Panhandle, but we do have our check of the area schedule coming up next as part of the pregame show, which is brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone them at 304-350-1931 or visit them online at whmsystems.com. A break to take them. We're back with a check of the area schedule next. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Orsini's, not just an appliance store anymore. They're your one-stop resource for all home needs, whether it's custom kitchen design, countertops, or cabinets, or check out their new sleep studio with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For all of your outdoor living needs, Orsini's has Gladiator Garage Works, Traeger grills, barbecue accessories, barbecue rubs and sauces, and every flavor wood pellets. Visit their brand new 8,200 square foot showroom at 360 Hack Wilson Way, 304-267-7251, Orsinis.com.
WVU Medicine Surgery is pleased to announce the addition of several new general surgeons to our expert team, offering a full range of minimally invasive laparoscopic and robotic surgeries and procedures. With 8 surgeons in Martinsburg, Granson, and Spring Mills, WVU Medicine Surgery provides revolutionary treatments, quicker recovery, and better outcomes. For more information or to schedule a consultation, visit wvumedicine.org/physicians and select specialty care.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now for our check of the area schedule, and brought to you by Rock's Local Markets, fast, fresh, friendly. Well, there are now no other EPAC games going on this weekend, as Washington's matchup at John Marshall, scheduled for Saturday afternoon, has been canceled. That word came down this morning after Marshall County went red in both categories on the color code map. For Washington head coach Glenn Simpson, his team is 5-4, winners of 3 of 4, and coming off a good effort beating Hampshire last week.
I just saw our guys play with great enthusiasm. They played a very clean game. We executed the game plan really well, and we were able to come out on top.
Right now, the Patriots are at number 15 in the rankings and should be in the playoff pairings that will come out over the weekend. For John Marshall, they're also 5-4, but just on the outside looking in, head coach Jason Willis says they've been fortunate just to play the way they have.
A lot of teams have only played 5 games, 6 games here and there, and it's been a strange season, but, we've been fortunate.
Well, their fortune has run out as the county is in red, which means John Marshall may not be able to participate in the playoffs. They'll just have to wait and see what the color map says on Saturday and what the playoff pairings say on Sunday morning. The rest of the EPAC is off for a third straight week, as once again Berkeley County is orange on the COVID color map. Martinsburg holding on to the number 3 spot in the rankings at 4 wins and 1 loss. Head coach Britt Sherman says the team has used the time off to be prepared if they can get back on the field.
With what we've been able to do, I've seen great effort. I mean, our kids, when they're there, their business, we've been able to do a lot of training that we didn't get to do in the off season. They've been training really hard, and they've been working really hard in practice, and I'm really excited, guys, about being able to play again with this group.
Meanwhile, Musselman comes in at number 4 in this week's rankings. They're 6-1 and have won 5 in a row. Head coach Brian Thomas is certainly frustrated by the situation.
I think, I could sit here and go on a rant, but to me, the biggest thing is we test and we play. We test and we play. If we're in Orange County, let us test. And let us prove to you that we are healthy. And if for some reason we aren't healthy, then that student that's not healthy has to quarantine, assuming we don't have a breakout, assuming we don't have 5 or 6 kids that have this thing. Common sense tells us we test and we play.
Also in the playoff picture is Spring Mills. They're 8th this week week in the rankings with a 5-2 mark. They've won 2 of their last 3 games. Head coach Josh Sims says they have been able to take advantage of the time off.
The way our personnel has, worked out and the way our offense has evolved, it's definitely, a lot of passing and a lot of timing and a lot of rhythm stuff. So, working on there is still very beneficial to us because, again, when you're passing the football, it's all about timing.
All 3 teams will be keeping an eye on that color code map when the announcement comes out on Saturday evening at 5. If Berkeley County is in the orange, the seasons will be over for all 4 teams. If Berkeley County gets to gold, all 3 teams would be allowed to play in the postseason. Meanwhile, Hedgesville is still hopeful they can get one more game in. The Eagles are 0-7 on the year and would try to get a game in against Berkeley Springs next week if that's possible. Head coach Matt Faircloth of the Eagles says it's hard to understand all that's going on.
We've practiced for 10, 12 weeks now of banging against each other in practice, being around each other every day, and now we can't do anything in practice contact-wise. Nothing's changed. It's just now a map tells us that we can't have contact. It's crazy. It's frustrating, but at the end of the day, the kids are doing what we asked them to do.
Well, that is our check of the area schedule, and it's brought to you by Rock's Local Markets, fast, fresh, friendly. We've got more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that. We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules. We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Energy is something you never really think about, even though you use it every day. With Roach Energy's no run-out guarantee and 24-hour customer support, that's just the way we like it. So when you think about it, call Roach Energy for all your oil and propane needs. Ask about our pre-buy and budget programs. Roach Energy, 304-262-4271.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
And we welcome you back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It is Hurricane in Shenandoah Junction tonight taking on the Jefferson Cougars. It's time to break down the Hurricane Redskins. Matt, this is a team that we talked about it in the first segment, a bit of a dual threat offensively. They can put the ball out in the air. They'll spread the receivers out an awful lot, especially from what we saw when we were down there covering that Musselman Hurricane game, but also a team that's going to use 2 guys in the backfield. Tyrone Washington going to get a lot of carries out of the backfield along with Jeremiah Riffle. So this is a team that can do a little bit of everything, and they've shown at points this season they can do it pretty darn efficiently, but there's been some times, including the game we saw, where that offense has just sputtered this year.
Well, that's the thing. They want to be able to try to keep a defense off balance. So if they can throw the football and catch a defense expecting to run, they're going to take advantage and do that. If they can run the football when they've got that defense thinking that a pass might be coming, they certainly want to take advantage, and they've got a quarterback to do it. Ishmael Miguel Barrero, just a junior, 6'1", 188. He's a dual-threat type of guy. He can run, but also has a very strong arm throwing that football. And as you mentioned, Washington and Riffle in the backfield, two guys we definitely have to keep an eye on. But the real key is going to be this offensive front line. Can they protect that quarterback? Can they open the holes for that running back? How do they fare against this Jefferson defensive front?
And we've heard from a couple of people here at the stadium today that they are going to be relatively healthy tonight. And we saw them a few weeks back. They were missing some key members, especially along that defensive line. This is a unit that should be pretty healthy in the last week of the regular season tonight, and they need to be healthy. 3-2 right now is their record. That has them at 13, tied with Oak Hill in this week's AAA playoff rankings. And you don't know what's going to happen on Saturday night when the final color code map for the regular season comes out and those pairings come out on Sunday. But health is going to be key for them. They seem to be healthy right now, and right now they need a win. Obviously, there's going to be quite a few teams that miss out on the playoffs this year strictly because of that color code map. But obviously you want to go in as sharp as you can into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are coming off of a win. Their last time out, it was a victory over Winfield on the road back on October 23rd. They scored a 23-17 win in that one. It's a Hurricane team that comes in averaging about 26 points per game offensively, but giving up just about 28 points a game defensively. And when you look at it, they've had 2 games when they've been able to really hold down opponents to just 9 points against Huntington and 17 in that win against Winfield, but they've also given up 28, 36, 49 in 3 other games. And so when you look at it, it's kind of been a little bit of hit or miss. Offensively, very similar, where they had a big 60-point outburst against Parkersburg, but were held to only 7 against the Musselman Applemen. Outside of that, pretty much at their average of a little better than 20 points a game.
Hurricanes head coach is Jeremy Taylor. We're going to take a break, and on the back side of this break, we will hear from the 9th-year head coach for the Hurricane Redskins. That coming up next in our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
There are so many great things to say about the redesigned Honda CR-V. So to save time, we've condensed them down into one easy acronym. OMECUV-NAAHAWATESONT. That stands for our most exhilarating compact utility vehicle, now available as a hybrid and with a turbocharged engine standard on non-hybrid trims. See? Simple. The redesigned Honda CR-V. Contact your Honda dealer or shop online.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
We all know what a good time looks like. But what is it made of? We can think of a few things. In this case, it's handcrafted food to gather around, never-changing variety of wine, and a Friday night. Do yourself a favor. Experience the good in a good time.
McCrae is dedicated to protecting our employees and you, our customers, as we provide our communities essential heating, cooling, and indoor air quality needs during these trying times. Take advantage of McCrae's exclusive offer. Purchase a new Trane high-efficiency system and receive a $1,000 instant rebate plus 0% interest financing for 48 months on qualifying products. Hurry, this offer won't last. Visit McCraeWay.com/TV today to learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now to hear from the Hurricane Redskins head coach. Our conversation brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Phone them at 304-263-4343. In his 9th season leading the Hurricane program, it's Jeremy Taylor. We get our conversation started with what has happened to his team recently since a loss against another Eastern Panhandle foe, the Musselman Applemen, back on October 17th.
We played Musselman kind of on a whim, and
really, after playing Cabell Midland like we did, we really shouldn't have played them. But we were just afraid that we wouldn't have gotten to play. So we picked them up, and then I think we picked up a Winfield, AA program, and we were supposed to play Polka, and then they had a COVID scare, I guess. So, we just been practicing and trying to get healthy. And, it was a pretty physical game we had against Musselman, especially coming after Cabell Midland. And we were beat up pretty good there. So, we just trying to get healthy.
How excited is your team to be able to get back on the field this week?
I think they're excited. What's terrible is we're trending orange around 6.1%, so this probably will be our last game. And it might be Jefferson's, too, because they're trending higher than we are. So, we got 5 seniors, and, we're going to try to put this together kind of like I hate to say a bowl game, but about all it can be. I mean, it's going to be it may end up being their last game, so hopefully we'll go out with a bang.
Talk to us about the trying to stay fresh and hopefully be able to come out and be ready to play some of your best football when you haven't been able to consistently not only play but even hold practices the way you would like.
Well, we've actually been able to practice. We haven't been orange for a while. We were red there for a week or so, but it's kind of funny. We played Parkersburg after being off for 3 weeks and scored 63 points and won by 30. And then the next week, we kind of got beat up against Cabell Midland and physically lost by a touchdown. I think our kids will be excited to go play. I mean, they kind of underperformed against Winfield a few weeks back, and, we got the call at 1 o'clock against Polka. It got canceled last week, so I think they're going to be excited. I think we're going to go around, fly around, and have a good time.
What do you know about the Jefferson Cougars? These are 2 programs that, as far as I would know, have not yet met, and a pretty good distance between you.
Yeah, from what we've seen on film, quarterback is he's got a pretty good arm. I don't know who number 35 is on the defensive line. He's real good. They do a lot of. They're really multiple in things they do. They've lost some games this year. I mean, they lost to Musselman by about the same score we did, and I don't think they got the. I think they beat a Washington team by a couple points a few weeks back. Our only common opponent. Well, I guess we have 2. We both lost to Musselman, and then we beat Parkersburg, and they lost to them. So I mean, if you go that way, I think it's going to be a pretty even game. That's a 6-hour bus ride isn't ever fun, but sometimes you got to do what you have to do.
You talk about that bus ride. How often do you try to maybe stop and get off the bus and keep your guys' legs underneath of them?
I've been doing this for about 22 years, and we've made. In my time, we've made a couple trips, about 4 trips to the Eastern Panhandle and a few to the Northern Panhandle. And we've done it all sorts of ways where you take breaks every 2 hours. But all that does is even though you take a break, it just makes you sit on the bus longer to me. Got to stop, get started. So our plan is to probably leave around 10 a.m. I think it was Friendsville, Maryland, somewhere in there. Get off the bus, eat, stretch out. And then get back on the bus and get there. I just want to get there, get there, and then you can kind of meander around and things like that. I don't like stopping and starting.
And that is Hurricane Redskins head coach Jeremy Taylor. Our conversation brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Phone them at 304-263-4343. We've got more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation. And we're hiring people like you to join our team in Ranson, West Virginia. All Rockwool employees receive a competitive base salary, plus excellent benefits including health, dental, and vision coverage for employees and their families, paid time off, a 401k matched up to 6% by Rockwool, and more. This is Sam, a supervisor at Rockwool, on his benefits.
The benefits are important to me. I have a teenage son, just the dental, the vision, he needs glasses, medication, stuff like that. I find the benefits packages help me out greatly over the years.
If you want a well-paying job and the potential for a rewarding career, visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwelljobs.com/radio.
This is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I want to thank you for your continued support of helping Hagerstown Ford's efforts to be #1 in the region. As we get closer to this extremely aggressive goal, I want to recap why Hagerstown Ford should be your only consideration when buying your next vehicle. Number 1, we have the best prices from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Hershey, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. I assure you, price will not be the reason you don't buy from Hagerstown Ford. Number 2, we have a real return policy that's better than Walmart. Seriously, if you don't like it, return it. We'll give you 3 days to make sure you love your new ride. And finally, we'll bring your new car, truck, or SUV to you, just like Amazon does. Never step foot in a dealership again. Stop the silly back-and-forth negotiations that make everyone crazy. It's dumb, and it's a total waste of time. Besides, we hate it worse than you do. Simply log on to HagerstownFord.com and let us make your next buying process fun, easy, and risk-free. What do you got to lose? Visit HagerstownFord.com and let us cater to you. See dealer for details.
And we welcome you back into the pregame show. We're at Cougar Stadium. It is the Hurricane Redskins in town taking on the Jefferson Cougars. It's time to take a look at the Jefferson Cougars. They're led by Craig Hunter. We'll hear from him coming up in just a bit. But, Matt, this is a offense that can also be a little dynamic, do a little bit of everything. Sammy Roberts, a very good arm at quarterback, but what we saw a couple weeks ago when it was the Washington Patriots in town taking on Jefferson was the Evan Toole show. I mean, he really impressed us, and I think a lot of people that night with the way he ran the football.
Yeah, came in with 377 yards and left with another 200-plus added at the end of a great game against Washington. And it's a part of the offense that these Jefferson Cougars are going to need here tonight. We talked earlier about Hurricane and what they've been able to do. Jefferson's very similar, averaging just a little under 26 points a game. The problem is they're giving up almost 37 a contest, and it's an offense that, again, has been dynamic at times. They put up 42 points against Greenbrier East, 44 against Kaiser, 32 in that win against Washington, but also have kind of sputtered around that 14 to 20 point range in several of those losses. So we'll see if they can get that offense going here tonight and then get the help they need from the defense.
Well, what have we heard from Coach Hunter, not just this season, but it seems like the last couple of years, is finishing drives. Mm-hmm. This is a team that seems to move the ball pretty well from wherever they get it to about the 20-yard line. And from what he's told us, when they get in the red zone, things just seem to push them back in the opposite direction. So I think that's going to be a key tonight against what is a good Hurricane team, is they've got to be able to finish drives.
Yeah, it can't have the mistakes, whether it's a penalty, an offside, or whether it's a procedure, someone starting early, or a hold at the wrong time, but also can't turn the football over. A couple of very costly turnovers in that matchup on the road against Parkersburg last week, a game they lost 37-20. Would love to have a couple of those possessions back.
Yeah, and looking at Sammy Roberts, the starting quarterback, I understand maybe a little banged up tonight, so that's just going to put even more pressure on Evan Toole to be able to run the football, and more pressure on that offensive line to be able to create those openings to make sure they can run the football efficiently and not put so much pressure on Roberts.
Yeah, again, we talked earlier about Hurricane and their dual threat style of offense and how it all stems from what? How that offensive line plays, and we're going to talk the exact same thing about these Jefferson Cougars. That offensive line has to open some holes so that they can establish Evan Toole in the ground game and hopefully free some things up for Sammy Roberts in that passing game.
This is a Jefferson team that right now is on the outside looking in at the playoffs. Currently 19 in the AAA playoff rankings. But as we mentioned earlier, and on our sheet we have in front of us a lot of red X's as teams that aren't looking like they're going to make the playoffs, not because they haven't earned it on the field, but because of that color code map. So it's looking like Jefferson is going to get a playoff spot, but similar to Hurricane, you'd like to go into the playoffs with a win and playing very good football.
Absolutely. Look, let's quickly talk about this sheet of paper in front of us. Earlier today, we sat down and pulled up the color code map, and we took every county that was orange or red and put an X beside of those AAA high schools in those counties to say if the playoffs started right now, these schools would not be in it, and you're taking out 12 of 32 teams in AAA, 7 of the top 16, and 10 of the top 24 teams. So if you take those teams out of the mix and say, hey, when when the pairings come out on Sunday morning, Martinsburg, Musselman, Spring Mills, Parkersburg, Wheeling Park, possibly this Hurricane team, Ripley, John Marshall, those teams won't be able to play. That means the other teams will simply bump up into those spots, and that would certainly give Washington a chance to maybe even get up to the number 8 spot and get a home game, and Jefferson maybe even move up from where they are right now to number 11. So win or lose, it looks like this Jefferson team will be in. It's a matter of where they'll be seated and if they'll have some momentum going in.
And what we've learned this year is there's no certainty in anything regarding high school sports or really education as a whole due to that color code map. But it certainly looks like it's going to be Jefferson County as a whole representing the Eastern Panhandle in the AAA playoffs across the Mountain State this year. Head coach Craig Hunter's in his 8th season here in Shenandoah Junction. We're going to take a short time out. On the backside of this break, we will hear from Coach Craig Hunter as well. Then we'll hear from a player coming up in the following segment, part of our In the Huddle. Pre-game show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone them at 304-350-1931 or online at WHMsystems.com. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well has tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg offers hand-cut, locally sourced steaks, fresh seafood, and sandwiches with great daily specials like 75-cent wings all day Monday, prime rib on Tuesday, New York strip on Wednesday, and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Ask for the lunch punch card and have lunch on the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard. And don't forget the Big Apple Lounge on Sater Drive in Inwood.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now to talk with Craig Hunter, head coach of the Jefferson Cougars. Our conversation brought to you by Parsons Ford on Shepherdstown Road, just east of Martinsburg. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. Coach, the final week of the regular season, and here we go again as you have had to find a game. How impressed are you that you guys have been able to get on the field 9 times this year?
A lot of the games we were able to find was before before everything and the schedule switched up. So a lot of those games were still on the schedule. But some of the games that we found, it's kind of funny how you can find games, and that we were able to find games, and just basically just fortunate enough that we're still able to play.
Last week it was a trip to Parkersburg, a game that you fell short in. What happened in that one? How did it play out?
I think that the players played well. They played hard. Once again, we just sometimes have to finish. We had some mistakes on all sides, on both sides of the ball, and it just cost us a game. We had several turnovers in the first quarter and first half, and then there was a costly play that on film the guy was clearly down, and they called him up, and he ran and scored a touchdown. So that was kind of costly for us.
How have you kids bounced back from that one? I know you were coming off the high of the win against Washington, now a tough loss, and now you've got a very important game this week. How are they responding?
I think they're responding well. They get to play one more game. There's hopefully, and from what I hear, there's possibly playoff implications on this game. So their spirits are up and they're ready to go and ready to go out here and try to win a game.
What is it you know about these Hurricane Redskins, a team that you don't often see?
They got a pretty good quarterback, a nice receiver, and the defense is going to come after you and try to get after you and be aggressive and blitz.
How about having this one at home? How good is it to not have to travel after that long trip last week?
It feels good not to have to travel 6 or 7 hours to go play Hurricane in Hurricane.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this one could have some playoff implications. It seems like things are wide open this year.
Yes, I mean, you know, with the coded map, you still know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, there could be some teams that could be on the outside looking in because of the coded map, which is sad for them, you know, because they put so much work in just like everybody else has put in, and they honestly probably deserve a shot to be there just like everybody else.
Do you kind of talk to your team and treat this week as a playoff week?
Yes, we have. We talked about that yesterday during film session, that this week is a playoff week. It's a play-in game. If you win, you're in. If you don't win, you're going home. So that's how we're treating it.
Coach, we wish you all the best in this one. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There you go, Jefferson head coach Craig Hunter joining us here in the pregame. It's brought to you, our conversation that is, by Parsons Ford on Shepherdstown Road, just east of Martinsburg. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. The pregame show is a service of W. Harley Miller Systems, and we've got more coming after this timeout. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We go in the huddle now as we talk with the Jefferson player. Our conversation brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters. Get a free yellow trash can and pick up for just $23 a month. Phone them at 833-DUMP-STIR. That's DUMP STR. Evan Toole, running back for the Jefferson Cougars, joining us here with our In the Huddle segment. A sophomore, a young man who has stepped up and taken the starting running back role. What has this season been like for you?
It's been a good season for me, I think. I didn't get to start off the season.
Well, I know Coach told us that it was really kind of a three-way battle.
Yeah, it was a three-way battle. I started the season off late. I didn't get to start till like the 4th or 3rd game. I had to fight for the starting spot, and I also started late, so it was even harder for me. But yeah, the season's been going really well for me.
So how does it make you feel to know that even with that little bit of a late start, you've been able to step up your game and get that starting nod?
It just feels good. I want to be able to do it without my offensive line.
There you go, those big guys up front. Give us an idea of what the running game is like in the offense that you guys run.
I don't know. We kind of like have it all. We can. It's hard. I don't know. It's like
you guys, I know, spread it out, and so
we can spread it out. We can run the jumbo. We can pretty much do it all.
Do you like catching the ball out of the backfield?
I mean, if I have to do it, I'll do it.
Talk to us about the way this season has played out for you guys. You've had a little bit of ups and downs, if you will. A big win, obviously, a couple of weeks ago over an arch rival in Washington, but then a tough one last week on the road against Parkersburg.
I mean, What was the question again?
And just talking about, a little bit of ups and downs. What's this season been like? How's this team kind of come together through it all?
It's been like you said, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Just I don't know. It's hard.
It has been a tough season with everything that has been going on. Battling through it all, you've still managed to get in 8 games. This will be the 9th game of the year. What is it you look forward to in this matchup against Hurricane?
Just to come out and all hands on deck, like Coach Hunter said. Got to get the win and hopefully make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, there it is. How much do you treat this like a playoff game, knowing what this game means?
And just play every game like it's my last.
Evan, thank you. Good luck in this matchup.
Thank you.
There you go. Evan Toole, sophomore running back for the Jefferson Cougars, joining us with our In the Huddle segment. It's brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters. Get that free yellow trash can and pick up for $23 a month by phoning 833-DUMP-STR. We've got more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation products, and we want motivated individuals to join our team right here in Ranson, West Virginia. Right now, we're recruiting to fill positions on the production line, in operations, in engineering, in maintenance, trades, and in site leadership and supervision. Listen to what Adam, one of our production supervisors, has to say about working at Rockwool.
I think working at Rockwool, you'd be surprised. You probably wouldn't expect the type of community that you'll find, the type of opportunity that you'll find. It's changed my whole life.
If you want a well-paying job and the potential for a rewarding career, visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
Yeah, make it quick.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to...
The game in this one is the Hurricane Redskins taking on the Jefferson Cougars. Mr. Miller, let's start with the visiting Redskins making the very long trip from the southern part of the state. Again, pretty much opposite corners from Jefferson County all the way down to Hurricane, just in that little sliver of Putnam County. What do you look for in keys to the game for the Redskins?
Well, we've talked to a couple of the members of their coaching staff and or broadcast team who talked about, look, the trip was not that bad, and they've come to the Eastern Panhandle before and gotten some big victories in the postseason against Martinsburg and against Hedgesville. So they're good at making this trip, and I think they've got to get off to a good start in this one and make sure they kind of get their legs underneath of them, and they've got to be able to get this dual threat offense going. They've got to be able to establish their quarterback Ishmael Barrero, and then through that establish both Tyrone Washington and as well Jeremiah Riffle running the football. And in order to do that, again, it boils down to the offensive line.
All right, let's flip to the Jefferson Cougars What do the Cougars need to do to finish the season on a high note and most likely go into the playoffs on that high note tonight?
They've got to cut down on the mistakes. I mean, we've talked about it. They have so many times had those issues, not being able to finish drives or having turnovers. They can't have those in this one, and they've got to have a very good defensive effort here tonight. Can't fall behind in this game.
All right, there are keys to the game. That wraps up our pregame show, brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Phone 304-350-1931 or visit them online at WHMsystems.com. We're back with the starting lineups in the opening kick next. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game.
The Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Palace Lounge Bar and Grill, and the Berkeley County Health Department.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. The Jefferson Marching Band on the field right now. Jefferson Fight Song being played, a very good rendition of the national anthem we just had as well. We will bring you a portion of the halftime show the band will be performing at halftime. So coming into our first segment of the halftime show, we hope to bring you 5 to 6 minutes of the Jefferson Cougar Marching Band as part of our halftime show. Matt, it is time for the starting lineups in this one. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by DNN Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, then start at DNN Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Call 304-267-4078.
Well, let's start with the visitors. The Hurricane Redskins coming in at 3-5 on the season, coming in at 3-2 on the season, led by ninth-year head coach Jeremy Taylor, a record of 48-42 and 7 playoff appearances, and hoping to get back into the postseason. Depending on the standings, but also depending on that color code map. This is the probable lineup. At quarterback, Ishmael Barrero, a junior, a dual threat type of guy. We'll either see Jeremiah Riffle or Tyrone Washington get the start in the backfield. Either way, we're going to be calling their names a lot in this one as those two guys rotate in and out as running backs. Brogan Brown and Lucas Ripito, along with Chase Hager and J.T. James, will serve as wide receivers, as you'll see a lot of that 4 wide receiver set with one back and the quarterback in the backfield. The offensive line, Isaiah Williams and Deacon Pavanis are tackles. Jacob Ellis and Garrett Green are guards, and Caden Johnson is the starting center. Defensively, along the front line, you've got Isaiah Williams, Caden Johnson, Shelton Frampton, and J.T. James. We talked with J.T.'s dad earlier. Here's a young man that is being highly recruited that really did not see much, if any, playing time against Musselman when we saw the Appleman matchup against Hurricane a few weeks back.
Yeah, we heard that maybe going to a junior day at Pitt, so being very highly recruited. Looking forward to seeing him along that defensive front tonight.
Gavin Pepiora is one of the linebackers, along with Brogan Brown and Tyrone Washington, while the 4 defensive backs are Lucas Ripito as a free safety, Bryson Murrell a strong safety, Heath Montgomery and Caden Williams are the starting corners. So there is what we have for the Hurricane Redskins. Now for the Jefferson Cougars, they're 3-5 on the season, led by 8th-year head coach Craig Hunter, 34 wins, 48 losses. Coming in, the Cougars will have Kason Lanza starting as a tight end, while wide receivers will be Isaiah Fritz, John Gidney, and Spencer Powell. In the backfield, the starting tailback is Evan Toole, and Sammy Roberts is the quarterback. Along that offensive front line, Joe Sands and Joey Slaughter are tackles. Jake Muth and Davis Cummings are guards, with Brady Chrisman as the starting center. Defensively, along that defensive front line, you've got, Nathan Muley, along with Jelani Hollis, Joey Slaughter, and Drake Sims. Linebackers are Brady Chrisman and Nolan Milab. The corners, as I look through, will be Keyshawn Robinson and Christian Blau. And then you've got Julian Matthews as a nose tackle. They've got him in a different spot here on this starting lineup. I'd have put him with those defensive linemen if I'd have seen that earlier. Evan Toole listed as an outside linebacker, and the free safety is Spencer Powell. All right, so a little bit of a discombobulated look at the starting lineup for Jefferson.
You'll see them all out there. Those starting lineups have been brought to you by DNN Auto Specialists, where honesty is their best policy. Specializing in exhaust, alignments, and tires. Call DNN Auto Specialists at 304-267-4078. One more 30-second break to take, and we will come back and we will get into a little bit of a lawsuit that has taken a roller coaster turn over the last 24 hours, and we thought may have ramifications not only for soccer but for all fall sports across the Mountain State, as we get you ready for kickoff here just about 6 minutes away. A 30-second break to take, then we're back. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
To change a child's story, go to mycasaep.org.
And we welcome you back into Cougar Stadium. It's the Hurricane Redskins in town taking on the Jefferson Cougars. Matt, a lawsuit filed earlier in the week by Emily Beck, a soccer player for Martinsburg High School, and it has been a roller coaster couple of days with that lawsuit. There was some promise at the local level in the circuit courts, and once it got promoted to, and rightfully so promoted to, a statewide level with the West Virginia Supreme Court taking a turn for the worse. We had a chance to talk to the Beck family. Emily's two parents are lawyers and represented her in that lawsuit, and unfortunately not going the way of Emily, and not just Emily, not going the way of high school athletes in Berkeley County and really across the Mountain State.
Yeah, and what it means is you're not going to be able to fight the system and what is going on now. The governor's basically said that on Wednesday, came out and said that again today. His big idea is test, and that's what it's all about. And if you go out and do that, then your county will get a chance to play. Whatever. He's the one making the rules right now, and unfortunately we live by those rules, and that doesn't bode well for Berkeley County and many other counties across the state as some very good teams are not going to be able to participate in postseasons, including Martinsburg, that did not get a chance to be a part of that soccer tournament today. That soccer tournament, by the way, did go on. It started a little bit later than they intended, but in AAA, Jefferson, who was the 4 seed and represented Region 2, fell by a 1-0 final against the top seed George Washington, and then University, the 3 seed, able to upset the 2 seed Cabell Midland 2-1. So George Washington and University will play at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for what will be that boys soccer state championship. Have not heard yet on the girls game, as Jefferson and Parkersburg South were scheduled to play at 4. George Washington and Wheeling Park getting ready to get underway right now in Beckley. We'll bring you a score from that one if we get a chance. Meanwhile, volleyball, you've got 3 of the top 4 teams in Class AAA right in Berkeley County, with Musselman, Hedgesville, and Spring Mills. Looks like those teams will not get to play. And, of course, you've got arguably 3 of the top programs in football this year in Class AAA, and clearly some of the best football athletes in Berkeley County that looks like they may not get to participate as well. So the lawsuit was a great effort by Emily Beck, by her parents, Barry Beck and Kelly Beck. Thank them for being on Miller Time with us earlier today. And they said, hey, we did everything we could do. We went down fighting, can't do anything more. We're pleased with the fact that we at least gave it everything that we had, just like you'd expect a student athlete to do out on the field. And in the end, they lose this battle, and unfortunately, that means some young student athletes, especially these seniors, are going to miss out on some great opportunities that, frankly, I don't think they need to miss out on.
Yeah, you talk about not only in Berkeley County teams as a whole, but Anthony Smith from Martinsburg, one of the best overall, if not the best overall football players in the state. Blake Hartman, one of the best overall football players in the state for Musselman. And Keon Padmore Johnson, one of, if not the best quarterback in the state of West Virginia. And those are 3 teams within that top 10, within the top 8, with Spring Mills being 8, Martinsburg at 3, Musselman at 4. So it is unfortunate as to the way that the playoffs, and it's not just AAA, Mineral County right now looks like they're going to be at least orange, if not red. So you're losing Frankfort and Kaiser, who are AA powers.
Yeah, 2 teams that you would expect to make some noise in those playoffs as well. So, again, an unfortunate situation, but at this stage, unless something changes between now and tomorrow at 5 p.m. when the color code map comes out, and or between now and Sunday morning when the official football pairings come out, unless something changes, and I don't know that it will, there's no indication that it will, then, yeah, it looks like a very difficult way for some student athletes to see their fall sports seasons end.
The Jefferson Cougars have made their way to this near sideline in the all-maroon uniforms tonight on that far sideline, back corner of the end zone with the American flag. Coming onto the field right now is the Hurricane Redskins in what is for the first week in November, a drop-dead gorgeous night for high school football in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia.
Now let's pull up the weather on my phone at this moment, and we are right around 56 degrees. It is calm with the wind out of the south-southwest only at about 2 miles an hour. Humidity 63%. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better evening for high school football.
And one of those time of year differences, game starting in the pitch black. Not a speck of light other than the stadium lights here at Cougar Stadium to speak of.
Did you notice the lights on as we were coming here?
About 2 miles away. You could see them
yes.
Coming. Yep, absolutely. Other games of interest tonight. We will give the scores at the half and in the post-game show, but a couple of other big games tonight. I think Bridgeport and Morgantown definitely has some people paying attention to it. Morgantown all over University in that Mohawk Bowl last week. Bridgeport, number 7 this week at 5-1, trying to put a good stamp on their first year back in AAA, and they got to be one of the favorites to go to the state championship.
Well, I mean, when you look at teams that right now we're pretty sure will be in the postseason, South Charleston at 5-0 is number 1, Cabell Midland 4-0 is number 2, Spring Valley at 4-1 would likely move into that number 3 spot, and then would come Bridgeport, who right now is 5-1. They would likely fill all the way up to that number 4 spot. So, yeah, you're looking at a Bridgeport team that could say welcome back to AAA in a very big way.
Another one that is going to be of a lot of interest, one of the games of the week, number 10 Princeton at number 11 George Washington. That's a game that could be the difference between somebody possibly hosting a playoff game and somebody going on the road.
Well, Princeton right now in that number 10 spot at 5 wins and 2 losses. Again, it could move all the way up to that number 5 spot, depending on how this game plays out. Maybe they even get higher than that. And George Washington could move up to that number 6 spot. Now, they're 3-1 as George Washington in Kanawha County. They got a very late start to the season. I remember back in those early weeks of the year watching what was going on in Kanawha County especially, and we were getting a chance to get out and broadcast our local teams playing and thinking how hard it was for Kanawha County. And now here they are looking to go into the postseason while we're up in this neck of the woods, if you will, lamenting about the fact that the season may be over way too soon.
One other game, which is the lower part of the bracket, but you just never know what the playoffs are going to look like, is Brooke at 1-7 taking on Preston at 2-7. Brooke doesn't want to be one of those teams that is left out of the playoffs, maybe one of the only 4 AAA teams that due to the map may be left out of the playoffs, so that one will be one to keep an eye on as well, whether Brooke can sneak into the playoffs as well.
And again, we want to reiterate for those that maybe didn't hear early on in our pregame show, Washington was scheduled to play at John Marshall tomorrow, but that game has been canceled as Marshall County up in the northern Panhandle went red in both categories on that color map today, and as a result of turning red, that means that game cannot be played, and so Washington will look to go into the postseason with that mark at 5 wins and 4 losses without the chance to play tomorrow.
Jefferson wins the coin toss. They defer to the second half, so it will be the Redskins starting with the football to get this one going on the final Friday of the regular season across the Mountain State for high school football. The Cougars coming to their sideline as the Redskins on that far sideline break the huddle now, and they will start by sending 2 return men back.
Well, not surprised by this decision for head coach Craig Hunter. Let's get that defense out there, see if maybe they can help to set the tone early in this one. Also, it gives you a chance, if you can maybe get that last possession in the first half, to build some momentum and then get that football to start the second half. So not surprised that Jefferson has elected to kick.
Corin Humphreys will kick it off for the Jefferson Cougars. They will be kicking right to left, which means Hurricane, when they get the football, moving left to right across your TV screen or your radio dial. 2 return men back, and one to this near side is Chase Hager. Can't quite see a number on that far side, but 2 men back for Hurricane. Ball's on the tee. Humphreys approaches and sends a squibbler right up the middle of the field. Bounces and hits a middleman, a loose ball right around the 30-yard line. Who falls on it? Looking to see an official, and he points the way of Hurricane. They will start with the football just prior to that 30-yard line.
Wow, a great effort by one of the special teamers. I think that might have been, well, I couldn't tell you. I could see at least a 1 on that uniform, but did not get the second number of who was able to dive on it for the Hurricane Redskins, but near disastrous start for them.
The opening kick coming right at 7 o'clock and brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Phone them at 304-263-5131. A Jefferson Cougar getting up a little gingerly, coming to this near sideline. That is Keyshawn Robinson, who was a little shaken up as he was one of the ones diving in on that football on the far side right at the 30-yard line. He does make his way to the sideline. Ball on the far side hash at the 29-yard line. That's where Hurricane will start their first possession of this football game. Barrero in the backfield along with Tyrone Washington. Receiver coming in motion. Barrero takes that snap, immediately going to drop back to pass, looking left, now going right down the middle of the field. He's got a man who has a step over, throws the intended receiver. That's Chase Hager, who had a step on that secondary, and Barrero just overthrew him by a yard or 2.
Matt, I am not surprised watching the warm-ups for Hurricane. They had Barrero throwing deep balls down both sidelines and down the middle of the field. You knew they were going to take a chance and spread this field. Didn't know it would come on that first play.
Second down and 10 from the 29-yard line. 11:48, just 12 seconds in to quarter number 1. A single back formation here. Handoff goes right up the middle. Is that Washington? Looking to see a number, but the running back barreling forward across the 40 up to the 45-yard line. That is number 9, Tyrone Washington. That's a first down Redskins as that ball all the way up to the 47-yard line.
Tyrone Washington, 6 foot 201. He brings a little size with him and runs very hard as he's able to pick up that big first down.
And right at the middle, nothing special there. Good job by the offensive line creating that opening. One receiver to each side of the formation. Again, going to be the offset eye for Hurricane. It is Washington as the back. Little play action. Barrera going to go deep for Hager down this near sideline at the 20. A diving attempt, but can't make the catch. Another opportunity on a long pass from Barrera to Chase Hager, but cannot connect.
Yeah, again, going with the deep ball, and this time a little better chance for Chase Hager, the 5'9", 167-pound junior, with a diving effort, had that one go literally right through the arms.
And, Matt, something to note early here, that wasn't one-on-one coverage on either one of those long throws so far. That was Hager beating two members of the secondary for Jefferson. Second down and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. The snap goes back to Barrera. He gives the handoff to Washington to this near side, gets to the 48 to 49 before he is taken down. Gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Redskins.
Nice job, Brady Chrisman, 6'3", 210-pound senior for Jefferson, coming down the line and putting a pretty big hit on the running back to make that stop after just 2 yards. Got some help from a number of other Cougars as well.
We expect to see Jeremiah Riffle as well getting handoffs, but so far it's been all Tyrone Washington in the backfield. Little pistol look here, movement along the defensive line. Nobody crosses, and now Hurricane will look to the sideline and possibly adjust that play. 4 down linemen for Jefferson, 2 receivers to the far side of the formation. Barrera drops back to pass, looking for an out route. He's got Hager at the 40-yard line and a little bit more as he turns upfield and runs. Gets to the 30-yard line, inside the 30, down near the 25. First down on a 3rd down conversion for the Redskins.
Yeah, they're going to pick up just about 26 yards on that pass completion. And again, Hager has been running wide open so far on 3 different pass attempts. They finally connect.
Yeah, that time not going deep, just a simple out pattern, finding the sticks and turning and burning out the field. Hurricane quickly getting to the ball. Ball hits the deck. The handoff was going to Riffle. Is Jefferson able to climb on that football? They are. It's a turnover on the first handoff of the day, going to Jeremiah Riffle. He couldn't hang on to it. Jefferson takes over, and that is a costly penalty for Hurricane as they were moving the football.
Nathan Muley is the one who was able to jump on that football. The linebacker for the Cougars recovers. 10:04 to play in this opening quarter. Great way to do it.
Ball will be at the 29-yard line. Jefferson in their own territory. Sammy Roberts in the shotgun formation. He's got Toole to his left. 3 receivers to the near side of this formation, 1 to the far side. Roberts drops back to pass, sends a screen out to a slot man, immediately bottled up near that 30-yard line, and play stopped as forward progress was stopped as well. On that catch is John Gidney. A gain of 1. That'll bring up 2nd down and long. Ball up to the 30-yard line.
Gidney, one of the favorite receivers for Sammy Roberts, a young man that has had a strong season. They try to get it to him in some space, but there just wasn't a lot of space there.
Jefferson taking a little bit more time between each play. Hurricane, as they were moving the football, and rightfully so, trying to get to that line of scrimmage quickly and catch Jefferson's defense napping. 2 receivers to each side of the formation, 2 bunched on this near side. Toole in the backfield with Sammy Roberts. There's a snap back, Davis to Evan Toole, his first carry of the day. Avoids 1 tackle. He's across the 35. Still rolling forward to the head of steam near the 40-yard line, and that should be enough to move the chains. First down, Jefferson. Evan Toole, 11 yards in his first carry of the day.
Toole is not huge, 5'8", 175 pounds, but the sophomore certainly keeping the legs churning and showing that he can run with some power to get 10 yards.
Ball up to the 40. First down of the game for the Jefferson Cougars. They'll send 3 receivers to the far side of the formation on this 1st down and 10. 1 receiver to the near side. Roberts and Toole in the backfield. A hard count, and Roberts gets Hurricane to jump. That'll be a 5-yard penalty on the offsides, moving Jefferson ever closer to that midfield strike.
First penalty of the game, and it goes against the Hurricane Redskins. Those are those mistakes we talked about. Jefferson needing to minimize, Hurricane really needing to minimize those as well.
And Sammy Roberts, just a junior. Very good hard count for the junior quarterback. 3 receivers to the far side. Now 1 comes in motion. Going to be a little bit of a misdirection. Handoff in the backfield to that slot receiver coming to the near side. Gets up to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more on that handoff. is a number 8. That is Isaiah Fritz, as that'll be a pass in the stat book. Again, just kind of that pat down as a guy coming in motion. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Cougars.
Yeah, 2 completions in 2 attempts so far for Sammy Roberts, but just for 1 yard, as that one did not net a single yard.
Roberts going to drop back to pass here. He's got Toole out of the backfield, catches it at the 44-yard line, avoids 1 tackler, still moving upfield near that midfield stripe. Depending on where they say he went out of bounds, that may be enough for a first down. Still waiting on the spot. It is first down, Jefferson.
Yeah, nice block out there as well. It looked to be Gibney who was able to get that block without picking up any sort of a hold or a block in the back that helped Toole after he caught that one to pick up the first down with about 6 yards.
Jefferson in Hurricane territory. 49-yard line from the far side hash where this ball will get snapped. The snap goes to Roberts. Handoff is to Toole. He'll gain a couple before being brought down. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Ball up to the 47-yard line.
Good push by the offensive line. Able to move that football at least a little bit. Toole with another hard run. He's got a couple of carries for 17 yards in this opening possession.
Pistol formation now for Jefferson. A blocker to the left with Toole in the deep backfield right now, about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Muley is that fullback to the right side, big number 45. There's a snap to Roberts. Give is to Toole right up the middle, follows those blockers inside the 45-yard line, still pushing forward as he nears the 40 before being brought down. That'll bring up a 3rd down and short. Looks like about 2.
Yeah, 5 yards on that gain. That became a rugby scrum at the end as there were offensive linemen along with that running back pushing one way, linebackers and defensive linemen pushing back the other way. Eventually they bring him down, but it's 3rd and short.
Evan Toole going to have to come out of the game. I believe his helmet came off, so he's going to have to sit out for 1 play. 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 2 coming up from the 41-yard line for Jefferson. Roberts goes with the quick, hard snap. Doesn't get Hurricane a jump. Now to look to the sideline and adjust that formation. Looks like they're going to adjust to the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the near side. There's the handoff right at the middle. It's Blau taking the handoff. Number 6 gets near the line to gain, but not sure he got enough. It's all going to depend on the spot from our referee coming in from the side. It's either going to be a first down or a 4th and inches. Wait and see where they place that football.
Blau, another guy, not real big, 5'8", 154. The junior, though, lowered the head and took on the tacklers and got just inside the 40, but it will not be enough for the first.
Yeah, that nose of the football about a half yard away from the line to gain. They need the 39. An opportunity here to convert on a 4th and short. The offense going to stay on the field. Again, that pistol formation. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. There's a snap to Roberts. He gives up the middle to Blau. He's got the first down and a couple yards extra, diving ahead up near the 35-yard line. First down, Jefferson.
Well, when your back's not that big, what do? You bring in a guy like Nathan Muley. I apologize. We had been told earlier that it was Muley, but apparently Muley is the correct pronunciation. Hey, he goes 6'3", 246, and he was the lead blocker as a fullback.
Shotgun formation here. Toole still not back in the ball game. It'll be Blau again to the right of Sammy Roberts. Muley is that blocking fullback just behind the right tackle. 2 receivers to the near side. The give is to Blau. Little stutter step. He gets inside the 35, breaking a couple of tackles and taking some tacklers with him inside the 25. Finally taken down near that 23. First down, Cougars.
Yeah, great run, hard run, and as you said, that little stutter step in the backfield and then bounced outside of the tackle to his left to pick up that nice chunk of about 8 yards.
I believe it may be a equipment malfunction for Evan Tools. They have the screwdrivers out trying to fix that helmet on this near sideline.
My apologies. That's a gain of 13. Don't want to cut the young man short.
First down and 10. That snap. Blau going to get it again, going right up the gut. Looks like that football came loose. Waiting to see a signal from our official.
No indication. Hurricane says they have the football, but our officials have yet to give any indication. They're going to say he was down by contact.
It's down to the 24-yard line, and Evan Toole now coming back in the ball game. Just getting back to that line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 24 for Jefferson.
11th play of this possession coming up, Matt, since recovering the fumble on Hurricane's opening possession.
Roberts in the shotgun formation, 3 receivers to that far side, 1 to the near side. Evan Toole, the running back, to his right. Again, adjusting the play, and the play clock hitting 0. A delay of game, and that'll move the football back 5 yards. The first penalty of the game for Jefferson. 2nd 15 coming up.
Well, Matt, and where are we? Close to the red zone. Not quite there yet, but another one of those type of penalties that we have seen. You go from a 2nd and 10 to a 2nd and 15 now from the 29 of Hurricane. And don't look now, but the clock is down to 4:14 and running in this opening quarter.
Jefferson doing a good job of keeping the football and keeping it on the ground, moving at a very quick pace. Roberts going to drop back to pass. He's got a wide open man across the middle on a slant. Catching that ball, number 7. That's tight end Kason Lanza. That's enough to move the sticks. First down at Jefferson, and that's inside the 10-yard line. Goal to go coming up for the Cougars.
Yeah, mark him down to about the 9, so that is a 20-yard pickup and the 5th first down in this opening possession.
Under 4 now to play in quarter number 1. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to this near side. Evan Toole about a step behind Sammy Roberts in that shotgun formation. He'll now go back behind Roberts in that pistol look. Muley is that blocking back to the left side of the formation. Roberts smacks those hands together. He will not give it to Toole. Going off left tackle, gets a few yards, but is wrapped up right around the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 6 coming up for Jefferson.
That looked to be Shelton Frampton who got in there to jump on his back and help drag him down after that short gain of about 3.
A big opportunity here, and Matt, you would imagine this has got to be 4-down territory for Jefferson. The way they're moving the football, you want to punch this one in the end zone.
Absolutely.
3 minutes on a running first quarter clock, still scoreless here in Shenandoah Junction. Pistol formation, Muley is that blocking back, Evan Toole the back. Little read option here as Roberts going to the right, no blockers there, and runs into a wall of Hurricane defenders. That's going to be a loss of about 2 on that play. 3rd and goal, back near the 8-yard line, and I'm not sure if that was a broken play or Hurricane just read that one very well.
Yeah, I think they read it well. It looked, as you said, to maybe be one of those read option type of plays. I think he only lost a yard back to the 7, but now it is 3rd and goal to go from there.
That ball in between the hash marks. Pistol formation for Jefferson. 3rd and goal from the 7. Snap goes to Roberts. He'll get right up the middle. Evan Toole gets inside the 5 before he is tripped up near the 3-yard line. And 4th and goal coming up from inside the 5. And Coach Craig Hunter's got a decision to make here. Do you try for the points, or do you want to get a touchdown on what has been a very productive opening drive for Jefferson?
Well, they haven't had a lot of production out of their kicking game. We understand an injury to their kicker, the young man that kicked off, Orrin Humphreys, just a sophomore, 5'10", 150. So I'm not sure if they'll bring him on to try that field goal or not. And yep, they will.
Number 4 coming on the field right now. Humphreys going to try to give Jefferson a 3-0 lead and get on the board first.
Now this will be basically 1 yard more than a extra point, and he'll be able to line up right down the middle of the field.
Yeah, about a 21-yard kick. There's the snap. The hold. The kick is up, and that one splits the uprights. A 21-yard kick up and good for Orrin Humphreys, and Jefferson takes a 3-0 lead. We step aside for a 60-second break with 1:31 remaining in quarter number 1. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation, and we're hiring people like you to join our team in Ranson, West Virginia. At Rockwool, we believe our success is built on a foundation of teamwork and that all employees excel in an atmosphere of trust, respect, communication, and support. Listen to what Sam, a Rockwool supervisor, has to say.
The one thing I like most about working at Rockwool is just the companionship amongst employees, the teamwork. It's kind of like a family atmosphere. Everybody works together. It's almost like a second family, and that's something that I enjoy.
If you want a well-paying job with a company where we all help each other succeed, then visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. 3-0 is the Jefferson lead here at home. 1:31 remaining in what has been a quick-moving first quarter. Humphrey sends another squibbler right up the middle, bounces the 20-yard line before being taken in by one of the returnmen. He's got a seam. That's a number 12 on the return. That's Jeremiah Riffle, and he's got nothing but green in front of him. The 20, 15, 10-5 touchdown. That one roughly 80 yards on the kick return, and just like that, Hurricane takes the lead 6-3.
Wow, well, that's that thing that happens sometimes on those squib kicks. Guys get out of their lane. That ball bounced around a good bit. Riffle had a little bit of momentum as he picked it up on the run, and once he split through a couple of would-be tacklers along that far side hash mark, he was very quickly into the clear and off to the races. We would give you the drive summary brought to you by Bricks 27 in downtown Martinsburg. Not fine dining, but fun dining. Find out more at bricks27.com. We'll give it to you in a moment.
The extra point up, and Nick, the upright on the way. That one no good. 6-3 Hurricane takes the lead on an 80-yard kick return touchdown with 1:19 remaining in quarter number one.
Yeah, for Jefferson, it was a 15-play, 67-yard drive in 8 minutes and 33 seconds. They got the 21-yard field goal up and good for Orrin Humphreys. But then, as you mentioned, it's Jeremiah Riffle that goes about 80 yards the other direction. That was Moore Ilderton. He's a 6-foot, 145-pound sophomore that had that extra point doink off of the left upright. And we still have a field goal separating the two teams, 6-3 Hurricane.
And don't blink, just 1:19 remaining in quarter number one. This has been a very quick-moving opening quarter here from Shenandoah Junction.
Chance to remind you, our first quarter on TV 10 is presented by the Skinner Law Firm, Injury and Consumer Rights Lawyers. You'll find them online at skinnerfirm.com. Also by Rockwool, and now hiring for their new facility in Ranson. Apply and get more information at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
Ilderton on for the ensuing kickoff. Jefferson, one man short until about 2 seconds ago, getting the full 11 on that return team. 3 return men back for the Cougars. They stand at about that 10-yard line. Referees still with that hand up in the air.
We are ready to go if they are ready to go.
Another TV crew here tonight as well from that Hurricane area.
That is true.
Probably giving them a lot of time they need for a commercial break. Ball at the 40-yard line as Ilderton approaches the kickoff. A high end-over-end kick. The return man on the far side of the field takes it at about the 11. Cutting to this near side, has a seam across the 20-yard line, gets to the 21, maybe 22 before he is brought down on that return. Looked like it was a 13.
It was.
So that was John Gidney on the return for the Cougars.
5'8", 153-pound senior. Matt, these are two young football teams. Jefferson has 7 seniors, 12 juniors, so just 19 upperclassmen. And for Hurricane, 5 seniors and 10 juniors. They've got just 15 upperclassmen.
First down and 10, ball at the 22-yard line. Another hard count, and once again, Sammy Roberts gets that defensive line to jump for Hurricane and move that football 5 yards further up the field. First down and 5 coming up after the second penalty of the day, both offsides for Hurricane.
There you go. You take those yards any way you can get them.
Jefferson not a team that huddles. They get to the line of scrimmage and look over to the sideline, getting the signals they need from head coach Craig Hunter. 2 receivers each side of the formation. The handoff is to Toole right at the middle. Good cutback as he's across the 30-yard line up near that 35 before he is brought down, and that's enough to move the chains. First down, Jefferson.
Yeah, it looked like that play initially was designed to go a little more to his right, but the entire left side of that offensive line collapsed the defense down, and he planted that right foot and cut back to his left and found open territory.
First down and 10, the 34-yard line. Ball between the hashes. Roberts smacks those hands together. A little bit of a play action, but a quick swing pass out to this near side. Hauling it in, getting across the 40 up near that 42-yard line is number 8, Isaiah Fritz. And a good gain on first down. That'll bring up second down and 4, gain of just about 6.
That's going to be a gain of closer to 9 as they set that football down. Yeah, Fritz did a nice job being able to get to that sideline and pick up some extra yards.
Yeah, able to tiptoe that near sideline. Looked like he stepped out a few yards back, but a good job being able to keep those toes in bounds. Second down and 1 coming up. The ball at the 44-yard line. Hard count. Defense does not move this time. Pistol formation still for Jefferson. There's the snap. Toole gets the handoff right up the middle, lowers that shoulder, barrels ahead to the 45-yard line, and that's enough to move the chains. First down, Jefferson.
I've got 7 first downs already for this Jefferson offense. Give this offensive line credit. They've done a nice job either getting a little bit of a push or at least getting a stalemate and creating a hole, and the offense is moving it. They're running the football well, and Roberts 5 for 5 passing for 36 yards.
30 seconds left on a running first quarter clock here from Shenandoah Junction. The snap in the shotgun is to Roberts. The handoff is to Evan Toole. Lowers those feet, keeps the feet running across midfield down at the 49-yard line in Hurricane territory. That's a gain of 6 on first down, and again, all will on that run for Evan Toole as we have 10 seconds left, and it looks like Jefferson is going to be content to let that first quarter clock run out as they do come to the sideline. We're through one quarter here in Shenandoah Junction. It is the visiting Hurricane Redskins, courtesy of an 80-yard kick return. They hold the 6-3 lead over Jefferson. A 60-second break to take back at the studio, then we are back for quarter number 2. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg offers hand-cut, locally sourced steaks, fresh seafood, and sandwiches with great daily specials like 75-cent wings all day Monday, prime rib on Tuesday, New York strip on Wednesday, and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Ask for the lunch punch card and have lunch on the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard. And don't forget the Big Apple Lounge on Sater Drive in Inwood.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Start of the second quarter, it is Hurricane with the lead over Jefferson 6-3.
Matt, let me give you the quick stats of the opening quarter. Hurricane 6 offensive plays, 42 yards, a fumble that ended their first drive. Jefferson 20 offensive plays in that opening quarter and 92 yards. Yet Hurricane leads 6-3.
Special teams got to play in all 3 facets of the game. Second down and 4 for Jefferson. They have the football to start quarter number 2. Just inside Hurricane territory at that 49-yard line on the far hash. Roberts smacks the hands together once, doesn't get that defense to jump. Now looks and adjusts the formation. Toole going from right side of him to left. Low snap. Good job by Roberts, able to corral it. They give it to Toole right up the middle, and he is met with some force. It looked like a 32. That's Brogan Brown, and that is our first candidate for the collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He brought it 6'2", 212 pounds, the junior Brogan Brown, right up the gut to hit Toole.
Toole able to get back to the line of scrimmage, third down and 4 coming up for the Cougars. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Roberts takes that shotgun snap, rolling to this near side, fires across his body and out of the reach of the intended receiver. Looked like that intended receiver was John Gidney, but not able to haul it in out of his extended reach. That brings up 4th down and 4 in the punting unit onto the field for Jefferson.
Well, and the reason for the incompletion is Shelton Frampton, a 5'11", 204-pound senior for Hurricane. He put pressure on the quarterback, forced him to roll out of the pocket and make that throw on the run before he wanted to. First incompletion, by the way, for Roberts now, 5 of 6.
Nathaniel Muley on to punt the football away. 1 return man back. Looks like it's Chase Hager who stands near that 10-yard line. There's the snap, a line drive, end-over-end kick, and Hager lets it bounce right in front of him. He takes it about that 14-yard line and is immediately bottled up as he had to backpedal. Looks like they will still give him near that 14-yard line where forward progress was stopped. We'll see where that official marks the football, but well inside the 20 is where Hurricane will start this drive, what is only their second offensive drive of this football game.
35 yards on the punt, virtually no return as the Cougars got great punt coverage.
13-yard line. Looks like where that football will be snapped from on the far hash mark. Hurricane moving right to left. Again, under center is Barrero. That snap going back gives the handoff to Washington. Nowhere to go as he is met by several maroon jerseys and forced to the sideline. That may be a loss of a couple. Good defensive stand for Jefferson.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by that defensive front. The linebackers come up and fill those holes, and I think they're going to give him progress right back to that line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 10. Ball right about the 13-yard line for Hurricane. Moved the ball very well, their first offensive possession of the game before turning it over inside the 30. Barrera by himself in the backfield quickly tries an out route to Hager, and just beyond his reach, incomplete pass, 3rd down and 10. And once again, Chase Hager pretty open on that out route. Just not on the same page with Barrera. Barrera overthrew him by about a yard or two.
Well, I think Barrera rushed that throw just a little bit. He had plenty of time, yes, to wait for that out route and then make sure that he hit his receiver. I think he rushed himself a little bit.
Again, an empty backfield. Barrera stands by himself. Trips to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side of the formation. 3rd down and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Redskins. Barrera now looking over to his sideline. Takes that snap. A quick drop, looking deep. He's going to fire deep across the middle and behind the intended receiver, and no shock, the intended receiver, Chase Hager, and was trying to catch it with a head of steam, but that one a yard or two behind him and not able to slow that momentum. Incomplete pass, 4th down and 10, and Hurricane going to have to punt the football away.
And once again, Hager open as he stayed in front of the deep drop, if you will, of those linebackers or that secondary, and had a chance if that pass was on target.
Gidney stands back near the 45-yard line, just about the 46-yard line. I believe that is Elderton who will do the punting as well. Takes that snap as he is in the end zone, gets it away. That one bounces at midfield, bounces to this near side, and smart play by Gidney to get away from the football. It takes a friendly roll for Hurricane inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. And actually on that punt, that is Lucas Ripito.
Yeah, well, a perfect name for a punter, right? Ripito.
Yep.
As he was able to punt that one for 49 yards with no return. So a nice job by the punter to be able to turn the field just a little bit.
And a good job by John Gidney on that return. After it bounced the first time, wasn't sure where that football was going to bounce next, so did the smart thing with a lot of field left in front of him, just got away from the football. They will say down at the 39-yard line. That's where Jefferson will start with the football. 3 receivers to the far side of the formation, 1 to this near side. Evan Toole in the ball game at running back to the right side of quarterback Sammy Roberts. Roberts barks out instructions, smacks those hands together, takes that snap, fires a quick curl route at the 43-yard line. That one hauled in by a receiver on that far side. Looking to see who hauled that in. Looks like at 13 it is. John Gidney on the reception. That one a gain of about 4. Brings up 2nd down and 6.
Good job, Roberts dropping back, finding the open slot receiver, getting him the football fast, picking up 4.
Ball at the 43-yard line. As Roberts moves Toole to his right. Has 3 receivers to his far side, 1 to this near side. Roberts drops back to pass. Another quick slant at midfield and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That's a 2-3. That's Spencer Powell, who was the intended target on that one. Could not haul it in. 3rd and long coming up for Jefferson.
And just a little bit high, but one that I know the sophomore would like to have back at 6'3", 180. Spencer Powell reaching up, had that one bounce off the hands, incomplete.
So after both teams moved the ball pretty well in their first offensive possession, right now both in a little bit of a stalemate trying to move the football. 3rd down and 6. Drop back to pass is Sammy Roberts trying to find Toole out of the backfield. He does and nowhere to go. Slipped a little bit right as he got back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down and long coming up, 4th and 6. And Jefferson going to have to punt the football away.
Ellen Jefferson now 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. They could not convert on a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and goal from the 7 in their opening drive, a 3rd and 4 the last time they had it, this one a 3rd and 6, and have yet to be able to get that first down.
Hager, the return man, stands back at the 25-yard line. Nathaniel Muley will do the punting for Jefferson. Gets that football, a high end-over-end kick, and Hager going to take it right at the 20. Muffs it, but is able to corral it. He gets to the 25, eluding a couple of tacklers near that 30-yard line before he is wrapped up. Looked like Roger Forsheet on the tackle for Jefferson. and the 30-yard line is where Hurricane will start with the football.
About 38 yards on the punt, roughly 10 on the return. And so, again, you look at this one and you feel like Jefferson has really kind of dominated so far in this first half, and yet you look up at the scoreboard and they trail by a 6-3 score.
Got to win all three facets, Matt.
Absolutely. That kick return looms large. Hey, while we got a chance, our second quarter on TV 10 presented by Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Buying or selling a home? Call chrisross.com. Also, Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg.
Elijah Rivera, the running back next to Barrero. A little bit of a read option. Now the pass to this near side caught at the 32. That's a 7 J.T. James on the reception before he is brought down just about a yard and a half or two into his run before play is stopped. His helmet comes off, so the whistles blow, and he has to go to the sideline for a play. Second down and 8 coming up for the Redskins.
Second completion in 6 attempts now for Ishmael Barrero. Has completed those 2 passes for 28 yards. Again, great job by this Jefferson defense. I believe that was Roger Forshee, 6 foot, 160-pound junior, the first to really hit him.
Handoff goes to the fullback in the offset I formation. Gets up to the 34-yard line before he is brought down. And that's a 32 on the carry. That's Brogan Brown. Gains a couple. Third down and 6 coming up for the Redskins.
This game has kind of bogged it down as both defenses are stepping up. Neither team has really been able to dominate at that line of scrimmage. And not after that 15-play, 67-yard opening drive for the Cougars that netted them 3 on the 21-yard field goal from Orrin Humphreys.
Pistol formation, little read option. Barrero drops back to pass. Rolls to his right, nowhere to go. Trying to get rid of that football. He'll fire it deep down the middle of the field. That one picked off at midfield by Jefferson and immediately tackled at the 45. An ill-advised throw. That one picked off at midfield by Spencer Powell. Jefferson takes over in Redskin territory.
Yeah, Powell was sitting back there as a safety, just watching the entire time, literally baiting the quarterback, throw it please, and he did. That was a long throw on the run to his right, and well read by Powell, who steps in and makes that pick.
And that is textbook play for a safety right there. Just hanging deep and waiting to see where that quarterback is going to throw, especially under duress, waiting to see where he's going to throw up a wounded duck.
Well, and that's 2 turnovers now for Hurricane. The Cougars have to take advantage.
First and 10 from the 46-yard line, 7:24 remaining in quarter number 2. Hurricane, the 6-3 lead over Jefferson. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Handoff goes up the middle. That's not Toole.
That's Blau.
Instead, that's Blau. Number 6 taking the handoff, gets up to the 45-yard line, gain of 1 on the play before he is driven towards the sideline. Second down and 9 coming up for Jefferson.
Got to be honest with you, from this angle, looked to me like he got inside of that 45-yard line, may have gotten an extra yard before being driven backwards.
They will mark it right at the 45-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Blau remains at running back next to junior quarterback Sammy Roberts. Roberts barking out instructions to that offensive line, examining that defensive front. 4-down lineman for Hurricane. Drops back to pass Roberts. He's going to go deep down this near sideline, going for Powell. Contact and a flag thrown. Powell trying to go back for that football as it was a little underthrown. In coverage was a 41, Elijah Rivera, making contact just a bit early, and that will move the football and really reverse the field right now and give Jefferson great field position near that 10-yard line. Wait and see where they spot the football. The 11 is where that football will be spotted and snapped for Jefferson.
Down to the 11. It's a 15-yard penalty for pass interference in high school football, is it not? He did catch it, so they did rule a completed pass. I couldn't tell at the end of that play if he hung on or not.
I wasn't sure he was able to hold on to it all the way through, but that makes a whole lot more sense now.
Absolutely.
Because I was along the mindset you were. First down and 10. That give right at the middle is Blau. Little stutter step as he cuts back near the 5-yard line and stood up by a host of Redskin defenders. Second down and short coming up. They can get a first down before finding the goal line. And if you're Jefferson, you got to punch this one in.
Absolutely. So 34 yards on that pass completion, followed by the 6-yard run. And just like that, the Cougars go from the 45 of Hurricane down to the 5.
2nd and 4 from the 5. Blau gets the handoff, dives towards that goal line. Just a yard short, but that is a first down, 1st and goal from the 1 for Jefferson. So now 4 opportunities to punch this one across the goal line.
Well, we said they've got to take advantage of that interception for Powell. It set them up with great field position, and they are knocking at the door right now.
Shotgun formation, 1 receiver to the far side, 2 to the near side. Muley is that blocking back. The handoff to Blau right up the middle. Does he cross the goal line? He does. It's a touchdown, Jefferson. 5:33 remaining in quarter number 2 from 1 yard out. Christian Blau takes it in for the touchdown for Jefferson. They hold the lead 9-6. Extra point coming up to try to make it a 4-point lead for the Cougars.
I like that formation when you can let the big 6'3", 246-pound junior, Nathan Muley, be that lead blocker. You are typically going to find a hole, and it doesn't have to be a big one for Christian Blau at 5'8", 154 pounds. He takes it in.
Muley going to attempt the extra point, something we didn't see at all from Jefferson in their game against Washington the last time we saw these Cougars. As the play clock nearing 0, that extra point up, and it is through. 5:33 remaining before the half. Jefferson has the lead 10-6. We're back after this 60-second timeout.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
5:33 remaining before the half here in Shenandoah Junction. Jefferson leads Hurricane 10-6. Ensuing kickoff. That's another short one right up the middle, hitting a front man and then diving on it at the 45-yard line, trying to get a number on who was able to fall on that football. Looks like a 1-7 Brian Eddy, the front man, able to keep that after it was able to squirt away from the front line of Hurricane.
Drive summary for Jefferson after the interception. 5 plays, 46 yards, 1 minute and 50 seconds, 1 yard on the touchdown run for Christian Blau, and Jefferson takes the 10-6 lead. Muley, by the way, like that. Straight on kicker with the PAT. Drive summary brought to you by Bricks 27 in downtown Martinsburg. Not fine dining, but fun dining.
Little trickery here. Hager going to get it on the wide receiver sweep, crosses midfield into Jefferson territory, where he is brought down, and what saved what was going to be a big run for Chase Hager on the tackle in the open field. 10, Roger Forshee. Still a good gain on first down of 6, bringing up 2nd down and 4 for Hurricane. And they'll give him actually 7 on that run. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3. Riffle is the running back, right behind Barrero. 2 receivers on each side of the formation. They're stacked, and some miscommunication on the snap count offensively for Hurricane. 5-yard penalty on the false start, taking a 2nd and 3, all the way back to a 2nd and 8.
3 penalties, 15 yards now whistled against Hurricane. And, of course, the what would have been pass interference penalty negated by the great catch by Spencer Powell. Fooled us.
He did. He did both of us think, and there's no way he held on to that football until we saw not a 15-yard mark off, but all the way down to the 11. Led to the touchdown, the first one of the game for Jefferson. 4:39 on a running second quarter clock. Barrero takes a snap, going to roll to that far side, looking deep upfield. Now he'll tuck and run. He's across midfield to the 45-yard line, lowers his shoulder and gets stood up at the 42. A hard hit, holds onto the football, but that's enough for a first down. Hurricane, and a injured Jefferson Cougar lays at that 42-yard line. Rolling around looking like in some pain.
Yeah, and looking like he's holding the lower spot of the abdominal region where he may have taken a knee.
Not an area of the male anatomy you want to get hit.
Not at all, Matt.
Let's take a 30-second break back at the studio. We're back with 4:30 remaining before the half. It's Jefferson leading Hurricane at 10-6. We're back in 30 seconds.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Player still down for Jefferson at that 42-yard line. Can't get a number. This player laying on his back. Coach Craig Hunter walking out onto the field. Hoping it's just the injury we're talking about in the press box. Hopefully it's nothing more serious. The run for Barrera was good enough for a first down. He was looking to pass the football. Tucked it and ran, got a couple of blockers and a couple of nifty moves as he got up near that 40-yard line. Ball marked at the 42 on that far hash.
Yeah, gain of about 11 on that carry for Barrero. That is just the fourth first down of this first half for this Hurricane offense. They had 2 first downs in that opening possession and were moving the football from their own 29 down to the 25 of Jefferson before the fumble ended that first drive, and Jefferson taking advantage as they went on a 15-play scoring drive, getting a 21-yard field goal from Orrin Humphreys, and that gave Jefferson that 3-0 lead, but it was short-lived as Jeremiah Riffle returned the ensuing kickoff approximately 80 yards for a score. The extra point doinking off the left upright off the foot of Moore Ilderton, and it was 6-3 Hurricane. That was our score coming into this second quarter after an interception for Spencer Powell of Jefferson. The Cougars were set up at the 46 of the Redskins. 5 plays later, a 1-yard touchdown run for Christian Blau, capping that drive, and with the extra point up and good for Muley, that has the Cougars out in front 10-6. And we do have paramedics now coming out to tend to the injured Cougar player.
Yeah, last week of the regular season, not what you want to see, not what you want to see any week or any time throughout a football game. As they tend to the injured Jefferson Cougar on the field. Let's step aside. Let's take a 60-second break back to the studio. 1 minute back at the studio. Don, we're back with 4:30 remaining in quarter number 2. Jefferson leads Hurricane 10-6. We're back in 1 minute.
This is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I want to thank you for your continued support of helping Hagerstown Ford's efforts to be number 1 in the region. As we get closer to this extremely aggressive goal, I want to recap why Hagerstown Ford should be your only consideration when buying your next vehicle. Number 1, we have the best prices from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Hershey, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. I assure you, price will not be the reason you don't buy from Hagerstown Ford. Number 2, we have a real return policy that's better than Walmart. Seriously, if you don't like it, return it. We'll give you 3 days to make sure you love your new ride. And finally, we'll bring your new car, truck, or SUV to you, just like Amazon does. Never step foot in a dealership again. Stop the silly back-and-forth negotiations that make everyone crazy. It's dumb, and it's a total waste of time. Besides, we hate it worse than you do. Simply log on to HagerstownFord.com and let us make your next buying process fun, easy, and risk-free. What do you got to lose? Visit HagerstownFord.com and let us cater to you. See dealer for details.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium, still tending to an injured Jefferson Cougar on the field. Believe we're getting some rumors of numbers, but don't want to say until we get a certainty on that number, but definitely in a lot of pain. As we may be getting a parent wave down to the field.
May have been the young man that made the tackle. Roger Forshey, 6', 160-pound junior, is who we believe is the one that is still down on the field.
The stretcher coming out onto the field It looks like he's not going to be able to get off on his own power.
The good news is we have seen him move all of his extremities, arms and legs. He has moved back and forth, kind of rolling from right to left. So hopefully nothing too serious, but obviously all precautions will be taken by the medical staff here at Cougar Stadium, the local paramedics, to be able to tend to the young man and make sure that he is okay.
And Matt, we've been pretty fortunate this year, and this is our 11th game we've covered and have not seen this scenario play out yet. And in the game of football, this is inevitable. You hate to see it, but it's unfortunately part of what is a high-speed collision sport.
It is always a possibility, and as you said, thankfully had not seen it before now, and thoughts and prayers with the young man that he will heal quickly and be able to get back with his team and get back to regular duties that he enjoys, both at school and with his athletics.
And a great job by the Shepherdstown Volunteer Fire Department, the team on hand today as the paramedics. And looking on the sideline, I don't see a 10 anywhere on the sideline, so we do believe it is Roger Forshee as they're backing the ambulance up on the field. And
I was about to say, as that play was wrapping up, that had a chance to be another candidate for that Cody's Body Shop collision of the game because of how hard that collision was between the two. We didn't realize at the time that it was the quarterback, Ishmael Barrero, who was the one to give more of that blow than it was the young man for Jefferson who was there to make that tackle. Big collision at the end of what proves to be an 11-yard gain and a first down for Hurricane.
Let's go ahead and send it back to the studio. Let's take another 60-second break back at the studio while they get Roger Forshee onto the stretcher and into the ambulance. And you would assume a trip to WVU Medicine on the backside of this. Let's go ahead and send a 60-second break back to the studio. 4:30 remaining quarter, number 2, Jefferson leads Hurricane 10-6. We're back in 1 minute.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Welcome back into Jefferson High School. 4:30 remaining in quarter, number 2, Jefferson has the lead over Hurricane 10-6. But the attention right now at the 42-yard line where junior wide receiver and defensive back Roger Forshee having to be taken off the field on a stretcher and being moved to an ambulance. Again, we have seen him moving. He gives that thumbs up as he is wheeled towards the ambulance. Standing ovation here at Cougar Stadium, and on that far sideline by Hurricane as well, and the Hurricane faithful that made the trip up from Putnam County, a couple of players and teammates surrounding Forshee as he is moved towards that ambulance. And the difficult part about the game of football, something like this happens, but you say a quick prayer, you get your mind right, and you go back and play the game, and you play the game for him right now.
And that was the thing. We saw both sidelines dropping to that knee, everyone paying close attention to what was going on out on the field. As you said, saying that prayer for a fallen teammate and even for a fallen opponent in this situation. And good to see him give the thumbs up again. You know that they are taking every precaution to make sure that this young man is safe and doing well. And so hopefully the word will come back that it is not a serious injury, but certainly one that will impact the rest of this game. For Hurricane, it takes a little bit of momentum from what you just got as an 11-yard gain, but we'll also see if it stings a little bit for this Jefferson defense now stepping out there without a young man that just made a key tackle.
Again, hats off to the Shepherdstown Volunteer Fire Department. They're on hand for every Shepherd University home game, so something they're somewhat familiar with is dealing with football injuries. But again, you never want to have to see that ambulance driving off the field out of the end zone.
No, not at all.
Again, thoughts and prayers out right now to junior Roger Forshee and his family, as both teams now back on the field. Ball at the 42-yard line, first down and 10 for Hurricane.
I'm not sure who comes in this situation. We see Nicholas Smith, the junior, out there, and it looks to be is that Carter Schroyer, a number 15, out there in that defensive backfield as well.
Looks like it is Washington in the backfield. Three receivers to this near side. A low snap. Barrera able to corral it in. He's going deep for Hager down that far side. Jump ball. Contact. No flag thrown. I think a good call as that one hits the turf. Incomplete pass. Second down and 10.
Isaiah Fritz was back there defensively in that man-to-man coverage, and as you said, a little bit of contact as both guys kind of working for that football, albeit Chase Hager had a much better idea where that ball was than did the defender.
It'll be interesting to see how many targets Chase Hager gets at the end of this football game. So far, he has been the intended receiver on just about every offensive pass that Hurricane has thrown. Snap goes back to Barrera, gives the handoff right up the middle. Taking that handoff is Tyrone Washington. He barrels his way ahead for a gain of 1, maybe 2. Brings up a third down and long, third and a long 8 or 9 coming up. It's going to be third down and 9, gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, give him just 1. And so far, 4 carries, 21 yards. Not bad in the early going or in this first half as a whole for Tyrone Washington. We've yet to see Jeremiah Riffle, who had the big 80-yard kick return. We saw him in the backfield several weeks back when we did the matchup with Hurricane and Musselman.
Offset I formation as Barrera under center. Play action pass. A deep drop for him going out on the out route at about the 26-yard line. Thought about going deep, decided to go more underneath on the out route. The intended receiver, 21, Lucas Ripito. That one falling to the turf as he couldn't corral it in. Fourth down and 9 now after the incomplete pass with 3:30 remaining in the first half of this one. Jefferson, a 4-point lead, 10-6, and see what they can do in what will be a little bit more than a 2-minute offense, but likely just about the length of the field to go when they get the football back.
Wasn't necessarily a bad pass, just seemed to be some bad luck as the receiver Ripito couldn't keep his footing.
Ripito on to punt it away, a high end-over-end kick. Gidney is going to let it bounce near the goal line. It does get into the end zone for the touchback. The ball come out to the 20. That's where Jefferson will have the football and what they hope will be the drive that gives them a bigger lead going into the half. The Cougars will get the football back to start the second half. 3:23 on the clock on the scoreboard to our right.
So the punt covers about 41 yards, but you net only 21 yards. I was a little surprised that they didn't decide to go for it in that situation.
First down and 10, 2 receivers each side of the formation. Roberts smacks those hands together. Doesn't get anybody to jump along that defensive line. 3 down linemen. 1 outside linebacker / stand-up DN near that line of scrimmage for a Hurricane. Blau moves from right to left of Sammy Roberts. Roberts going to drop back to pass after the snap. Rolling to this near side, fires across his body. Catch made at the 35-yard line. That's Gidney making the catch. Sidesteps a couple of tacklers, gets up near the 40-yard line. They'll give him the 37. First down, Jefferson.
I'm going to imagine that was not the design of that play, so you give Gidney a ton of credit. He sees his quarterback flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right, and he just continues to work across the field with his quarterback until he finds a little bit of an opening, a well-thrown ball, well-executed play.
Clock nears 3 minutes as Roberts, again, trying for that hard count. He's gotten Hurricane to jump twice so far in this first half. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Play action, quick swing pass to the outside. That one in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That's Gidney. Smacks those hands together. I don't think he can believe he let that one fall.
As I talked about, a great play before that one. Now this one goes right through his hands, as you said. I think ready to run with a football before he looked it in.
Looking upfield, had blockers out in front. Was going to be able to get a few yards after catch if he was able to see that one in. Off the 37-yard line, second down and 10, handoff to Blau right up the middle, gets across the 40 up to the 42 before driven backwards. Ball comes loose. Are they going to say forward progress was stopped? It does look like that as our official stands at the 41, 42-yard line. They will mark at the 42. A gain of about 5 on that run. Third down and medium coming up for the Cougars.
Cougars 0 of 4 on third down conversions. Need to convert here and keep this one going. And right now, Evan Toole on the sideline. It looks like he may be a little banged up, and we've seen a lot of Blau in the backfield.
Third down and 7. Christian Blau switches sides of the quarterback, Sammy Roberts. 3 receivers to that far side. Roberts going to drop back to pass, going to this lone receiver on the near side. It's Powell, and good defense is batting that football away. It's Heath Montgomery. Good coverage one-on-one with Powell on this near side. Incomplete pass brings up fourth down, and Jefferson going to have to punt the football away with 2:06 remaining before the half, and Hurricanes going to get another shot at it.
Yeah, Montgomery got there just in time to knock that football away as it was intended for Spencer Powell, the sophomore wideout.
Muley on to punt it away. Hager stands at the 24-yard line as the return man for the Redskins. Snap goes to Muley. He gets a short, high end-over-end kick, went off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds at the 49-yard line, just over midfield, and that one not the punt that Muley wanted. Certainly looked like it went off the side of his foot.
10 yards, to be exact, on that punt, and great field position for this Hurricane ball club, and now they have an opportunity to take advantage with 1:59 left here in our second quarter, and our second quarter brought to you by Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Buying or selling a home, call chrisross.com, and Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg.
See what the 2-minute offense looks like for Hurricane. 1:59 on the clock and a short field, and once again not on the same page with the snap count. A false start, the second one of the day for Hurricane. Move that one back 5 yards back to the 44-yard line. Second down and 15 coming up.
First
down and 15 coming up.
Fourth penalty for 20 yards now for Hurricane. Not the way they wanted to start this one.
Barrera by himself in the shotgun formation, sends Hager in motion. He'll hit him in the flat, still in motion, stumbles a little bit as he falls forward back to the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line, but nothing more. That'll bring up second down and 15 for the Redskins on a running second quarter clock, 1:45 remaining before the half.
5 of 11 for Ishmael Barrero, but for just 35 yards. Has not been able to connect yet on those deep throws down the field. Not that they haven't tried.
There's not been a lack of effort.
Right.
That's for sure. Offset I formation for Hurricane. One receiver to each side of the formation. That handoff right up the middle, bouncing a bit off tackle and getting 4 yards on the run. Believe that was Elijah Rivera on the run.
Yeah, that is 41 in the backfield. First time we have seen him carry the football, and have yet to see Riffle carry the football in this one.
Gain of 4. It'll bring up third down and 11 for Hurricane as we are under a minute left before the half. And Hurricane taking their time. Still, all 3 timeouts for both teams, but you would expect Hurricane to be showing a little more urgency than this. Once again, that offset I formation. Play action pass. Barrero drops deep. He's going deep down this near side of the field. Jump ball. Contact made. Penalty flag is thrown. And it's going to be pass interference on Jefferson. The intended receiver was J.T. James trying to go back for that football. The defender in coverage. A little too much contact going for the football. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and a fresh set of downs.
I believe it's Christian Blau back there defensively, and all he's got to do is turn the head to look for that football, and if he does that, I'm not sure you're going to get that pass interference penalty, but he never got the head turned around, never saw that football and made contact.
Moves the ball up to the 36-yard line, 38.5 remaining in quarter number 2. Hurricane with the football, trying to find the end zone before the half. Barrero by himself in the shotgun formation, quickly rushed to his right. He's going to tuck it and run. He's inside the 30 to the 25 before stepping out of bounds, but that's enough for a first down, Hurricane.
Gain of about 10. It looks like he stepped out at that 26-yard line. He needed 10, and that's what he got. He's run twice for 21 yards.
And Jefferson in the backfield in a hurry on that play. Not an opportunity for Barrero to set his feet and try to launch the football upfield. 31.7 remaining before the half. First down and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. Barrero sends Hager in motion. He now gets set as the fourth receiver to this near side. Barrero looking left, now decides to go deep down the right side of the field. That one incomplete, in and out of the hands of J.T. James. It was a deep slant, and he had to step on the defender, almost able to bring it in, and that would have been dangerous for Jefferson as he would have hauled that into about the 1-yard line. Instead, incomplete pass, second down and 10 coming up.
That's a great effort, though, by Gidney back there, who made the dive and got the hand in there. Whether he tipped the football, hit the hand of the receiver who wouldn't allow him to bring it in, or just created a distraction, either way, that's a great defensive play.
Second down and 10, ball at the far hash of the 26-yard line. Offset I formation for Hurricane. Play action bootleg rolling to this near side is Barrero. Sets his feet, and on the swing route to the far side, that one caught in the right side of the end zone. It's a touchdown. Hurricane waiting to see a number on the receiver. Looks like it's a 41.
Yep.
And it is. On the wheel route, Elijah Rivera able to haul it in for a touchdown, and that is just what the doctor ordered for Hurricane as they regain the lead 12-10 with 18.2 remaining before halftime.
Yeah, great job as they run that wheel route to the right, get all of the attention coming back to the left, and you usually don't like to see a quarterback turn and throw against his body, but that's what Ishmael Barrero did and found the open receiver.
Ilderton on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. A 60-second break to take. We are back for the remainder of quarter number 2. Right now with 18.2 left before the half. It is Hurricane 13, Jefferson 10. We're back in 60 seconds.
There are so many great things to say about the redesigned Honda CR-V. So to save time, we've condensed them down into one easy acronym. OMECUV-NAAHAWATESONT. That stands for our most exhilarating compact utility vehicle. Now available as a hybrid and with a turbocharged engine standard on non-hybrid trims. See? Simple. The redesigned Honda CR-V. Contact your Honda dealer or shop online.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Left in quarter number 2. Hurricane has just regained the lead 13-10. Ilderton for the ensuing kickoff. This one a low line drive kick bouncing at the 25, getting past Gidney, but is able to get it on the run. Starting his return right up the middle, hits one of his blockers up front, gets to the 23-yard line before he is taken down.
Scoring drive summary brought to you by Bricks 27 in downtown Martinsburg. It's not fine dining, but fun dining. Find out more at Bricks27.com. For Hurricane, 5 plays, 51 yards in a minute and 41 seconds, 26 yards on the touchdown pass as Barrero able to hit Elijah Rivera out of the backfield. Extra point makes it a 3-point Hurricane lead.
Christian Blau still in the backfield as we watch Evan Toole limp up the sideline. Don't think he'll be back. Powell, the intended receiver on this near side, he hauls it on the wide receiver screen. Scoots up the field to the 35-yard line before he steps out of bounds. That's a first down, Jefferson. 8 seconds left in the half. If you're the Cougars, you got to try one deep upfield here. Doesn't quite get to the 35. They'll mark him out at the 34. Was still enough to move the chains. First down and 10, Jefferson. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Roberts, another quick screen out to Powell. Immediately hit at the 35-yard line and taken down. Heath Montgomery on the tackle. Takes 4 seconds off the clock, 3.9 remaining before the half. And one more play for this Jefferson offense before they will go into the locker room. and make some adjustments for the second half. Second down and 10. I think that's second down and 9 from the 35-yard line. Two receivers to the far side. Roberts smacks those hands together. He gets clobbered after about 3 seconds, dropping back to the 25-yard line. That is a big 6-6 in on the sack. Isaiah Williams, the sack to close out the first half. Hurricane made the trip from the opposite corner of the state, and after one half of play, they have the lead here in Shenandoah Junction over the Cougars 13-10. When we come back, a little bit different halftime show. When we come back, we will introduce you to the Jefferson Cougar Marching Band as part of our halftime show. Our halftime show is brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, personal injury lawyers that can help you and your family. Call Mansion Ferretti Injury Law at 304-944-0577. A 2-minute break back at the studio, then we are back to give you the halftime show. Again, at the half, it is Hurricane 13, Jefferson 10.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation products, and we want motivated individuals to join our team right here in Ranson, West Virginia. Right now, we're recruiting to fill positions on the production line, in operations, in engineering, in maintenance, trades, and in site leadership and supervision. Listen to what Janine, one of our production supervisors, has to say about working at Rockwool.
Working here at Rockwool is awesome. I've always enjoyed it. I have personally brought somebody in, and they now enjoy their job here as well. So definitely somewhere that's great to work for on all levels.
If you want a well-paying job and the potential for a rewarding career, visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control 4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. It is the visiting Hurricane Redskins who hold the halftime lead 13-10. Matt Crawford, Matt Miller here, your broadcast team. John Alderton, our TV 10 cameraman. On the sideline, our on-site producer and sideline cameraman is Colin McLaughlin, and back at the studio is Donald Kenny. Well, we're going to bring you some of the halftime show here that the folks are seeing in these stands. We want to bring it to you as part of our viewing audience, and you can listen to it as we're bringing you the Jefferson Cougar Marching Band for the next few minutes, and we will come back and continue with our halftime show. Right now, we send it field side as let's hear and see from the Jefferson Cougar Marching Band. Jefferson Cougar Marching Band doing a little Frozen for the halftime show. We need to take another break. When we come back, we will get into the scoring recap from the first half, also some stats from the first half of this one as well. Also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Can't look at the EPAC scoreboard because, well, this is the only show in town or across the state featuring an EPAC team on this final week of the regular season. A 2-minute break to take back to the studio, then we're back with more of the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show. Your score at the half is Hurricane 13, Jefferson 10. We are back in 2 minutes.
Energy is something you never really think about, even though you use it every day. With Roach Energy's no run-out guarantee and 24-hour customer support, that's just the way we like it. So when you think about it, call Roach Energy for all your oil and propane needs. Ask about our pre-buy and budget programs. Roach Energy, 304-262-4271.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Why Apple Valley Chevrolet, Toyota, and Martinsburg? Because we're a name you can trust. And you can trust that you'll always find a large selection of over 400 new Chevrolets and a wide selection of new Toyotas at unbeatable prices. How unbeatable? Well, we will not be beat on any deal on any new Chevrolet or Toyota. That's right. You will not find a lower price, guaranteed. From Chevy Cruzes, Malibus, Impalas, Equinox, Suburban, Silverados, to Toyota Yaris, Corollas, Camrys, Avalons, and more. No one beats an Apple Valley Chevrolet Toyota deal. And remember to check your mailbox for this month's specials and great savings. Simply put, if you're in the market or will soon be in the market for a new or newer vehicle, check out all that Apple Valley Chevrolet Toyota has to offer. We're Apple Valley Chevrolet Toyota in Martinsburg, or online at applevalleychevy.com. That's applevalleychevy.com. Apple Valley Chevrolet Toyota, a name you can trust.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. We're at the half, 13-10. Hurricane with the lead on the road here in Shenandoah Junction. Matt, let's start with the scoring recap from the first half. It looked like the first two offensive drives, one for each team. This was going to be a shootout of a first half. I don't think anybody, after seeing those first two possessions, would have thought we would have had a 13-10 score at the half.
No, Hurricane taking the opening possession from their own 29, moved it down to the 25 of Jefferson, and on a 1st and 10, coughed the football up. It was recovered by Nathan Muley of the Cougars, and Jefferson then went on a 15-play, 67-yard, 8-minute, 33-second drive, capped by a 21-yard field goal from Orrin Humphreys. The sophomore made it 3-0 Jefferson, but it was a very short-lived lead as the ensuing kickoff was a bouncer along the far side hash mark. The Jeremiah Riffle scooped up on the run and darted down that far sideline and went 80 yards for the touchdown. Hurricane missing the extra point as it hit the left upright, and it was a 6-3 Hurricane lead. That would be your score after one, as the defenses really settled in after that. On the third offensive possession for Hurricane, it was their second turnover, this time a pass intercepted by the Cougars' Spencer Powell, and Powell setting up that offense with good field position, and 5 plays later, a 46-yard drive in a minute and 50 seconds was capped by a 1-yard touchdown run for Christian Blau. Extra point was up and good for Nathan Muley, and Jefferson led 10-6, 5:33 to play in the first half. But Hurricane would get the final points of the first half. They started the drive with 1:59 remaining in the second quarter. 5 plays, 51 yards, a minute and 41 seconds later. A well-conceived, well-designed, and well-executed play as Ishmael Barrero completed a 26-yard touchdown pass on a wheel route to Elijah Rivera coming out of the backfield, and that would make it a 13-10 Hurricane lead as the extra point this time was up and good for Moore Ilderton, and that's where we stand. 13-10 Hurricane in front of Jefferson at the half.
Another 2-minute break to take. On the backside of this break, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, see what else is going on in the Mountain State tonight in AAA, AA, and Single A games of interest. Back after this 2-minute timeout, your score at the half. Hurricane 13, Jefferson 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
We all know what a good time looks like, but what is it made of? We can think of a few things. In this case, it's handcrafted food to gather around, an ever-changing variety of wine, and a Friday night. Do yourself a favor. Experience the good in a good time.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
To change a child's story, go to mycasaep.org.
WVU Medicine Surgery is pleased to announce the addition of several new general surgeons to our expert team, offering a full range of minimally invasive laparoscopic and robotic surgeries and procedures. With 8 surgeons in Martinsburg, Branson, and Spring Mills, WVU Medicine Surgery provides revolutionary treatments, quicker recovery, and better outcomes. For more information or to schedule a consultation, visit wvumedicine.org/physicians and select specialty care.
Show 13-10 Hurricane up on the road over homestanding Jefferson. It's time to take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. No other Eastern Panhandle teams to talk about. Washington was set to play tomorrow afternoon at John Marshall. Marshall County turning red today. That game against Washington will not happen tomorrow, so Washington will end their season at 5-4. Right now, number 15 in the AAA playoff rankings. Berkeley County for the third straight week in orange. No games in Berkeley County, and not looking like there's going to be in the playoffs, but we will wait till the bewitching hour of 5 o'clock tomorrow night when those color code maps come out. The playoff rankings for this year's playoffs for AAA, AA, and Single A will come out on Sunday. Let's take a look around AAA. Number 2, Cabell Midland is welcoming St. Albans to town tonight. 51-7 Cabell Midland all over St. Albans. Bridgeport is at Morgantown in the third quarter. It is all Bridgeport 21-7. Princeton is taking on George Washington tonight. That game in the second quarter, Princeton holds the 7-0 lead. Oak Hill is welcoming University to town tonight as well, and it is University up at the half 30-13 over number 13, Oak Hill. Huntington taking on Riverside tonight. Huntington with the 21-0 lead at home in the second quarter. And Preston all over Brook 31-0 in the second quarter. A Final from A game on Tuesday. Single A Mount View lost at Lincoln County 43-20. Let's go over to Double A. Sissonville got a forfeit win over Rowan County tonight. Oak Glen is up at the half 49-0 over Philip Barber. Fairmont Senior is up at the half 20-7 against East Fairmont in the Battle of Fairmont. And Robert C. Byrd is up 35-13 at the half over number 16 Lincoln. Robert C. Byrd is number 8. Some single A games of interest. Number 10 taking on number 4 tonight's Tigers Valley at number 4. Doddridge County 29-12. The score at the half, Doddridge County up in that one. Midland Trail all over Pocahontas County at the half 28-3. Buffalo, number 6 in single A, up by just 1 over the Man Hillbillies, 7-6 at the half. And East Hardy is tied with Pendleton County, 7-7. East Hardy currently number 6 in single A. Pendleton County is number 14. All right, another 2-minute break to take. When we come back, we'll give you some stats from the first half of this one. Your score at the half, it is Hurricane 13, Jefferson 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
Orsini's, not just an appliance store anymore. They're your one-stop resource for all home needs, whether it's custom kitchen design, countertops, or cabinets, or check out their new sleep studio with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For all of your outdoor living needs, Orsini's has Gladiator Garage Works, Traeger grills, barbecue accessories, barbecue rubs and sauces, and every flavor wood pellets. Visit their brand new 8,200 square foot showroom at 360 Hack Wilson Way, 304-267-7251, Orsinis.com. Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
And we welcome you back into the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. Personal injury lawyers that can help you and your family. Call Mansion Ferretti Injury Law at 304-944-0577. It's time to take a look at the stats from the first half, brought to you by Dobson & Associates PLLC, providing all of your back office needs, including accounting, payroll, and human resources. We want to be your back office. Call 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg.
Where do you want to begin? Hurricane or Jefferson?
Let's start with Hurricane. They had the lead.
All right. You're not going to believe it when you hear the numbers. Hurricane ran 22 offensive plays in the first half for 106 total yards, 45 rushing and 61 passing, had 5 possessions with 2 turnovers, a fumble, and an interception, punted the football twice, and scored 1 touchdown. Their other touchdown in the first half came on a kick return. They've been penalized 4 times for 20 yards and have gone 2 for 5 on third down conversion attempts, did not attempt a 4th down. Let's look at some individual numbers. And for the starting quarterback, Ishmael Barrero, 5 of 13 for 61 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Barrero has carried the football twice for 21 yards. 1 carry for 5 yards for Elijah Rivera. 1 carry, make it 1 carry, yes, for 2 yards for Brogan Brown. A carry for minus 4 yards that will go against the team. 4 carries for 21 yards for the starting tailback, and that is Tyrone Washington. Receiving the football, 3 catches, 33 yards for Chase Hager, a grab for 26 and a touchdown for Elijah Rivera, and 1 catch for 2 yards for J.T. James. For the Jefferson Cougars, 36 offensive plays in the first half for 166 total yards, 63 rushing, and 103 through the air. In 6 first-half possessions, Jefferson had a field goal, a touchdown, punted 3 times, and took the ball into the locker room at the half. The Cougars penalized twice for 20 yards. They're 0 of 5 on 3rd down conversions, 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions. Throwing the football, Sammy Roberts, 11 of 14 for 103 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. Has carried twice for minus 11 yards as he was sacked for minus 10 on the final play of that first half. 9 carries, 34 yards for Christian Blau to lead the ground game. 8 carries, 41 yards for the starting tailback, Evan Toole. And, of course, Toole not playing much of that second quarter as Blau got a bunch of carries.
And Toole in street clothes in the second half now. A ankle injury for Evan Toole. Also on the injury front, we do understand that for Roger Forsey was a hip injury earlier in the game that had him taken off on a stretcher and going to a local medical center.
Rounding out the numbers quickly, John Gidney, 3 catches, 22 yards. Isaiah Fritz, a couple of grabs for 10 yards. Toole out of the backfield had 2 catches for 6 yards. A catch for 20 yards for Kaysen Lanza, the tight end, and 3 catches for 46 yards unofficially for Spencer Powell. And that is a look at your first half numbers.
Brought to you by Dobson & Associates PLLC, providing accounting, payroll, bill pay, human resources, and IT services. We want to be your back office. Call Dobson & Associates at 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. About a minute left before we get underway for the second half, and actually both teams making their way out onto the field right now.
And Jefferson getting this football to start this second half. Let's see if they can build some momentum early on in this second half of play.
The second half kick, a service of Bears Repair at 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. For all of your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair. Phone them for an appointment at 304-262-0208. Ilderton on for the second half kick. Gidney back as the return man, the lone return man back for the Cougars. This one a high end-over-end kick. Taking the return man back, and now make that a 60-inch Keyshawn Robinson on the return. He's across the 20 and stood up right at the 25-yard line, and another candidate for the collision of the game. Brought to you by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg.
I believe it was Cameron Phillips, 5'7", 145-pound sophomore, wearing number 25 on that big hit on the kick return.
Again, it'll be Christian Blau getting the majority of the carries, if not all the carries, in this second half, as Evan Toole, the starting running back, is out for the remainder of this game with an apparent ankle injury. Thanks to Colin McLaughlin down on the sideline for getting us that information. 1st and 10. It is a handoff to Blau. Right off right tackle, lowers his shoulder pads and gains 4. They may even give him 5 up near the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 5 coming up. Good run to start the second half for Blau.
Well, and again, they put in Muley as that fullback to help lead the way because, once again, Blau not real big running that football at 5'8", 154.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Sammy Roberts trying for that hard count. He got the defense to jump a few times in the first half with that hard count. Smacks those hands together. Again, Blau's going to get the handoff going right off the left guard. Gains 3 before he is thrown to the ground. Looks like that's number 32 again, Brogan Brown on the tackle, and he has been in on a couple of ferocious hits in this one. Gain of 4. That brings up 2nd down, or make that now 3rd down and short, 3rd and 1. Two receivers going to that far side, one to this near side. That lone receiver to the near side is Powell. Roberts smacks the hands together, now looks to the sideline. Looks like they're going to keep the play originally called. Roberts takes that snap, then gives it to Blau right up the middle, lowers his shoulder, breaks a couple of tackles, and he has enough on the gain of 3 to move the chains. It's first down, Jefferson.
Yeah, nice job as he was able to slip through a hole, pick up the 12th first down in this one for the Jefferson Cougars. Needed 2, got about 3.
A minute and a half through in this third quarter. Jefferson down by 3, 13-10. It was a late second quarter touchdown, giving Hurricane this lead. Two receivers to each side of the formation. Ball at the 37-yard line. Roberts drops back to pass and finds Gidney right out of the backfield, but can't hold on to it, incomplete. And we've seen that a couple of times now from John Gidney, the favorite receiver of Sammy Roberts, just not able to hold on to the football.
Yeah, second time tonight where you got to imagine in his mind he's thinking about yardage after the catch before actually bringing that one in. Tough break. Got to shake it off. Plenty of time left. You're going to get the ball coming your way again. Got to make the catch next time.
Gidney and Powell, the two receivers to this near side. Roberts rolling to his left after the snap. Going to throw on the run. The intended target is Isaiah Fritz. Makes the catch just before that first down marker. He's going to be a yard or two short. Brings up fourth down and short, or third down and short. Third down and 1 coming up for Jefferson.
Yeah, pickup of 9 and a nice catch as Fritz, working across the field, leaped into the air, fully extended, brought it down, and got a foot in bounds.
Muley is that blocking fullback just behind, playing kind of a back tight end, if you will, off the line of scrimmage. Blau going to take the handoff right up the middle and nowhere to go as he has stuffed a yard or two in the backfield. A host of tacklers there. Looks like a Garrett Green, 57, the first one there. A loss of 2, maybe more. Waiting to see where they mark that football. Yeah, a loss of more, a loss of 3. Fourth down and 4, and that's going to bring the punting unit on for Jefferson.
6'2", 292, the senior in the hole, taking on the 5'8", 154-pound junior running back. And, yeah, the defensive lineman wins that battle.
Yeah, usually wins that battle about 9.5 times out of 10.
Yes.
The lone return man is Chase Hager. He stands at the 25-yard line. Muley to punt it away, gets off a high end-over-end kick. Coming up to the 25 is Hager. He's going to start that return on the run, gets tripped up at the 35. And that's where Hurricane will start their first offensive drive of the second half. On that tackle, looks like it was a 1-7, Wyatt Shively.
About 30 yards on that punt and about 7 or 8 on that return. And now it's up to this Cougar defense. Need to make a stand, get that football back without giving up any points.
9:15 remaining in quarter number 3. Barrero now going from the shotgun formation. He'll now get under center with that offset eye. Washington, the back, stands about 5 yards behind Barrero under center. He will get that handoff and get right up the middle. Little stutter step now. He's into the secondary. Breaks a couple of tackles across midfield to the 40. A lot of green in front of him to the 30-yard line before tripped up inside the 25. And that's a great run on the first offensive play of the second half for Hurricane. First down and much more for Tyrone Washington.
Spencer Powell eventually able to get there and take him down, but not before the 40-yard gain for Washington. And not the start this Jefferson defense was looking for.
Down all the way to the 23-yard line. First and 10 Hurricane.
He had 21 yards in the first half, now 5 carries, 61 yards for Washington.
And we saw Hurricane in the first half, when they got on a roll, tended to run more of that hurry-up offense. Went to the huddle there. Hager goes in motion. Barrero, little play-action pass, nowhere to go. He's going to have to tuck and run. Goes right up the middle, gets to the 20-yard line, now bouncing it to the outside. Is able to turn the corner at the 15, gets to the 13 before shoved out of bounds. And nearing what he needs for a first down. Going to be a few yards short, but turning nothing into something. Good job by the junior quarterback, Ishmael Barrero.
Able to pick up about 9 yards. Jefferson faithful calling for a hold on that offensive line, but not getting a flag thrown.
Pushed out at the 14-yard line. Second and 1. Now for the Redskins. pistol formation. It's Washington behind Barrero. He gets the handoff, starts up the middle, bounces it to the outside off the tackle, lowers that shoulder, and gets tripped up at the 10-yard line. That's enough to move the chains. First down.
Yeah, that'll be a pickup of 4, a pair of first downs, giving them 8 on the ball game. Uh-oh, we have got an issue apparently with our video feed.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation, and we're hiring people like you to join our team in Ranson, West Virginia. All Rockwool employees receive a competitive base salary, plus excellent benefits including health, dental, and vision coverage for employees and their families, paid time off, a 401k matched up to 6% by Rockwool, and more. This is Sam, a supervisor at Rockwool, on his benefits.
The benefits are important to me. I have a teenage son, just the dental, the vision, he needs glasses, medication, stuff like that. I find the benefits packages help me out greatly over the years.
If you want a well-paying job and the potential for a rewarding career, visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out of there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131. Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Welcome you back into Cougar Stadium. Apologize for some technical difficulties. Hurricane able to find the end zone. We'll give you the details of that one after this first down run right up the middle. Blau able to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more, but not much doing. Second down and 9 coming up.
All right, here's what happened. Hurricane was able to score on that opening possession, a 6-play, 63-yard drive in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. It was a 2-yard touchdown run for the starting tailback Tyrone Washington on a 3rd down and 2 from the 2. and the extra point makes it 20-10 Hurricane.
Second down and 9. Sammy Roberts drops back to pass, going for an out pattern. Is that one intercepted? No, not able to hold on to it. Looked like it was going to be a very impressive diving interception for Brogan Brown, but he's not able to hang on to it. The intended receiver was Gidney, and that one well short of getting the target. Third down and 9 coming up. Incomplete pass for Sammy Roberts.
Boy, and you hate to say it, but this is a very crucial third down and long. The Cougars are just 1 of 7 on third down conversions so far, and right now Hurricane has all the momentum in the world.
Third down and 9. 3 receivers to the far side of the formation. Ball at the 37-yard line. Jefferson in their own territory. Roberts rolling to his left after taking that snap. Going to throw on the run, looking for Gidney. Does he make the catch? He does, but a few yards short of the line to gain. Fourth down and short coming up. Looks like a 4th down and 2.
It might even be closer to 3 as they set it down at the 44-yard line, so that game was good for 7, close to 8.
4th down and 2, and the offense staying out there. A 10-point game. 20-10 Hurricane has the lead. Trying for that hard count. Nobody budging on that defensive side of the football. 3 down linemen right now for Hurricane. 2 receivers to each side of the formation for Jefferson. Roberts takes the snap, going deep down this near side. Powell's the intended receiver. Makes the catch at the 25-yard line. Brought down a few yards after, down to the 21, and a 4th down conversion. Good pitch and catch from Sammy Roberts to Powell on this near side.
How about 35 yards on that 4th down and short? You go deep down the sideline. Is a big gamble for head coach Craig Hunter, but it paid off. Great grab by Powell.
And that is a play Jefferson needed desperately.
Absolutely.
Had not had a big play offensively in quite some time in this football game. Ball at the 21-yard line, 1st down and 10 from this near side hash. 2 receivers to the near side of the formation, 1 to the far side. It's Blau in the backfield along with Sammy Roberts. Claps those hands together now to give his to Blau right up the middle. Tries to bounce it off left tackle. Nowhere to go. Stood up at the 20-yard line before being taken down.
Another hard hit from that Hurricane defense, and that hit coming from J.T. James. Again, not a lot of size on these guys carrying the football for this Jefferson
not
team.
At all. Again, apologize for the technical difficulties. That lost connection for that Hurricane touchdown run. Not quite sure what happened there with our equipment, but we are back up and running with now under 5 to play in quarter number 3. 1 receiver to this near side is Powell. He's by himself. 2 receivers to the far side. 2nd down and 9, ball at the 19-yard line. Blau gets the handoff. He goes off of left guard. He's got a seam inside the 10 to the 5. Dives for the end zone. Did he get there? Touchdown, Jefferson. 19-yard touchdown run. Christian Blau now gets Jefferson within 4. Looking for within 3 with the extra point.
Does a great job of blocking off that left side of the line, giving him the opportunity to take it off tackle. Then he got into that secondary, able to make a man miss, and shows some quickness as he finds his way to the end zone.
4:43 remaining in quarter number 3, and that is just what Jefferson needed offensively. It had been tough sledding for the last quarter and a half for the Cougars. We'll see if this swings the momentum just a bit. Nathaniel Muley on for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. With 4:43 remaining in quarter number 3, we step aside for a 1-minute timeout. Jefferson back within 3. It's 20-17 Hurricane. We're back in 60 seconds.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation products, and we want motivated individuals to join our team right here in Ranson, West Virginia. Right now, we're recruiting to fill positions on the production line, in operations, in engineering, in maintenance, trades, and in site leadership and supervision. Listen to what Adam, one of our production supervisors, has to say about working at Rockwool.
I think working at Rockwool, you'd be surprised. You probably wouldn't expect the type of community that you'll find, the type of opportunity that you'll find. It's changed my whole life.
If you want a well-paying job and the potential for a rewarding career, visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
(2017) Hurricane with the lead over Jefferson. Ensuing kickoff for the Cougars, a short one. A squib right up the middle, taken middle return man at the 35-yard line. A little bit of a return up near the 45, and that's where Hurricane will start this drive with the football.
That return coming from Heath Montgomery, a sophomore. Scoring drive summary brought to you by Bricks 27 in downtown Martinsburg. Open soon for lunch. Hey, it's not fine dining, it's fun dining. Find out more at bricks27.com. Jefferson with a 6-play, 64-yard drive, 2 minutes and 5 seconds, roughly 19 yards on the touchdown run for Christian Blau. And that came after a 35-yard pass completion on a 4th and 2, kept that drive alive.
The 43-yard line on the far hash where 1st and 10 will be snapped for the Redskins. Barrera by himself, an empty backfield in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap, a quick screen pass. It's Hager catching it on the outside. Avoids one tackler, gets across midfield before taken down at the 49-yard line in Jefferson territory. Good gain on 1st down. Going to bring up 2nd down and short.
And make it 2nd and about 3. They mark it right at that midfield stripe. That's a long throw, but Barrera got it out there. And Hager with a nice move, able to pick up about 7.
I think Hager, from our vantage point, certainly looked like Hager got that 49-yard line. But they are putting it right at the midfield stripe near side hash. Barrera once again by himself, looking for a quick screen again. Gets Montgomery on the far side, makes that catch. He's got Green in front of him across midfield, inside the 40, down near the 35-yard line before he has stood up, given the 36-yard line. 1st down, Hurricane.
Yeah, mark that as a 14-yard gain, so a couple of screens. First one to this left side, that one to that right side. Seeing if they can find a little hole in this Jefferson defense, and so far they have 21 yards. Well, make it 20 now as they move that football back to about the 37 on those first 2 plays.
And, Matt, Heath Montgomery set right now even distance-wise behind the line of scrimmage as the quarterback Barrera. Barrera going to take that shotgun snap, nowhere to go deep. He's going to tuck it and run. Flag comes in the area of a hold. Barrera still on the run inside the 25, a spin move inside the 20 before he's taken down at the 15-yard line. Flags coming in at the end of that one, maybe in the area of a face mask. We'll see if these are offsetting penalties.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to have. Hold on that offensive line back around the 35-yard line, which would be about 2 yards into that quarterback run. And then we'll add on the face mask on the other side for Jefferson. So there'll be offsetting penalties. We'll do it all over again. There's hold. There's face mask. There's offsetting. And our head referee, who is Joseph Cox, lets us know just what we already knew.
1st down and 10 was so nice. Let's do it again.
We'll do it all over.
Hurricane goes back to the 37-yard line. Far hash is where that football will be snapped. 4 receivers to this near side. Mentioned it before that last snap. Heath Montgomery standing even behind the line of scrimmage, right where Barrera is. He now moves up in that bunch formation on this near side. And there looks like you would be trying to set up a screen with those blocking receivers out in front as Barrera looks to the sideline, maybe adjusting that play. It's Hager by himself as the lone receiver on the far side of the formation. Pump fake. Barrera now looking deep, nowhere to go. Gets flushed from the pocket coming to this near side. Now goes back up the middle once again, nowhere to go. Stuffed 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that's a sack for the Jefferson defense. A couple of players there. 56 was one of the players first in there, and that is Jelani Hollis. Going to get credit for at least a partial sack on that one.
Yeah, it'll be a loss of about 2 yards. Great job by that defensive front, putting on all kinds of pressure.
Ball back to the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 12 coming up for the Redskins. Offset. I formation, 1 receiver to each side of this formation. Play action rollout. Barrera going to the right is pushed back towards the middle of the field. Going to duck it and run, and he is swallowed up right back near the original line of scrimmage. A couple of players there, and it looked like once again a 56 in there, and that's Hollis once again. That's that one a gain of 1 on the play, so not going to go down as a sack. Rather a gain of 1, still brings up 3rd down and 11.
Now the defense needs to make the stop here, although this could be 2-down territory
at this
for
point
Hurricane.
Of the field. I would imagine it very well could be.
I would think so, but remember they punted from a similar area back in that first half.
Pistol formation. Washington is the running back. Looked like a little confusion on the handoff. Barrera rolling to his right, looking upfield. A receiver open upfield. That's a 21, Lucas Aripito, but not able to haul it in. A tight window for Barrera to throw that football upfield. Ripito almost able to bring it in. Incomplete pass, however, 4th down and 11 coming up for the Redskins.
Pass just a little low, may have been slightly behind him as well. Tough throw on the run. Give this young man, the junior quarterback Ishmael Barrero, credit for that one.
Lucas Ripito on 2 punts, so the Redskins will punt the football away. Snap will come from the 38-yard line. Ripito stands back in Hurricane territory at the 46. Gets that punt away, and Gidney gets out of the way. That one takes a favorable Jefferson bounce through the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Football will come out to the 20-yard line. That's where Jefferson will start with it.
I'm not sure I understand punting in that situation. You gain 18 yards by having that punt go into the end zone. I think you go for it, especially with the passing attack that you have. Hey, by the way, our third quarter brought to you by the Skinner Law Firm, Injury and Consumer Rights Lawyers. Find them online at skinnerfirm.com, and presented by Smallwood Small Insurance. Auto, home, life, business, disability, retirement. Smallwood Small is your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg.
Third quarter nearing an end, 1:46 remaining in the third. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to this near side. It's Powell, and he was the intended target on the pass from Sammy Roberts. About a yard behind Powell. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Well, but a yard behind Powell because, again, some pressure coming, and that was J.T. James who was in there in the face of Roberts. I got Roberts now 14 of 20, passing 154 yards in this one.
Christian Blau, the back next to Sammy Roberts. 3 receivers on the far side. That give is to Blau right up the middle. Is met but not taken down. Blau keeping those feet running forward. Progress is up near the 25-yard line. He was stood up by Brogan Brown, who we've seen deliver some ferocious hits today. But Blau not going down on initial contact. We'll have that as a gain of 4 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 6 for the Cougars. As we are at 12, or I make that a minute and 20 seconds remaining in quarter number 3.
Remember, folks, Evan Toole, starting running back, out in this one, went down with an injury in that first half. So we're seeing a lot of Christian Blau here in this second half.
Roberts takes a snap, rolling to this near side. Looking deep downfield, going to throw on the run. The intended target was Gidney. It was behind him. Great effort by Gidney trying to go back and get that football, just not on the same page with quarterback Sammy Roberts. Incomplete pass, 4th down. Jefferson going to punt the football away.
Well, there you go. Hurricane gets what it wants, a good stand, and just a 4-yard gain in those 3 plays for Jefferson. And so Hurricane still should get very good field position. Looks like we have a new punter out there. That's Brady Chrisman lining up back to punt.
It had been Nathaniel Muley who had been in charge of the punting duties. A whistle on this near side, and looks like Coach Craig Hunter going to take a timeout. We'll take it as well. A 60-second break back at the studio. We're back with 1:01 remaining in the third. It is Hurricane 20, Jefferson 17. We're back in 60 seconds.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood and Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Most of the time. 20
Visiting
seconds.
Centers in Ranson and Spring Mills for just $60. This discounted fee is designed to help patients who haven't met their deductible, whose insurance doesn't include a mammogram with an annual exam, or for those with no insurance. Schedule your 3D mammogram with WVU Medicine today by calling 1-888-802-2734, option 2.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. And yet another new punter out there looking for, I can't quite see the
It's
number.
Isaiah Fritz.
Isaiah Fritz, that's a high snap, chasing Fritz back into the end zone, running around. He just needs to fall on it, and he does. It goes out of the back of the end zone, and that's a safety. 2 points for Hurricane, and they'll get the ball back. It was a high snap well over the head of Fritz. Nothing he could do about it other than fall on it. That's what he did out in the back of the end zone. Safety, Jefferson.
Oh, that one hurts. You were within 3 at 20-17, a minute left in this third quarter, now down 22-17, and you have to punt the football away, or, well, you get a free kick. You could kick it off the tee if you so desire. That one definitely hurts. And, again, we had a different punter in there because Nathan Muley seems to be banged up here in this second half. So this has not been a good night for Jefferson with guys going down to injury.
And again, our thoughts and prayers going out with Roger Forsey and his family taken off on a stretcher and taken away in an ambulance earlier in this ball game. We understand a hip injury, not sure the severity of that injury to this point. Ball at the 20-yard line. They're going to go with the kick off of the tee once they're able to get it set. And it looks like doing the kicking now is going to be Carter Schroyer. So yet another kicker. Kicking by committee. Hits an up man up front, able to corral it in. That's a 25 on the return. Gets to the 29-yard line on that return. Cameron Phillips. And, man, how about this field position following a safety for Hurricane?
I'm not sure how he held on to that one. As that ball came right at him, he had to go off his body and pop up into the air and somehow was able to corral it and get it to that 29-yard line. And Hurricane with a huge opportunity to get a little bit of distance in this one.
They will start this drive with 55.5 remaining before the end of the third quarter. Jefferson in need of a defensive stop. Barrero in the pistol formation. He's got Tyrone Washington 2 yards behind him. Sends the fullback in front in motion. Now gives to Washington, but never gets there. That ball hits the deck, and it certainly looks like Jefferson fell on it, waiting for the signal. It is a turnover. The second fumble of the day on the handoff for Hurricane, and once again Jefferson able to fall on it and looking to see a number.
That's a 44.
44, so on that fumble recovery, Julian Matthews. And Jefferson will take that turn of events.
Turnover number 3 in this one for Hurricane, and yet right now they still hold that lead.
And, man, if you're Jefferson, you got to capitalize on this.
Oh, absolutely.
The safety puts you back after only being down by 3. It's now 5. You've got to take advantage of this if you want to stay in this football game. Last-minute personnel coming on to the field. Keyshawn Robinson, a late receiver, going to that far side of the formation. 2 receivers now to each side of that formation. Sammy Roberts looks over to the sideline, as does the rest of the offense with 6 seconds on that play clock. Jefferson going to not be able to take their time. Roberts takes that shotgun snap, looking deep. Powell going down this near sideline. Contact made in the route. No penalty flag thrown. The Jefferson faithful doesn't like it, and I'm in agreement. Definitely some contact. Could have very easily been called a hold on Spencer Powell. The Redskin in coverage was number 1, Heath Montgomery, and definitely got a hold of the arm of Spencer Powell as he was running that route. And Coach Hunter and the Jefferson faithful have every reason to be upset with the no call there.
I agree with you. Montgomery was getting turned around on that play, and as Powell was going to go by him, he stuck that arm out there and made sure he made contact, and that was the reason for the incompletion.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. Blau gets the handoff off the left side. Nowhere to go. Gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 coming up.
And not what Jefferson wanted in this situation, to end up in this 3rd down and long, just 1 for 9 on 3rd down conversion attempts. Now you go back to last week, and we heard from Coach Hunter saying, there was a questionable call that cost him on a play that it appeared a guy was down, and they let the play continue and ultimately ended up in a big score for Parkersburg. A missed call here on what could have easily been a hold or a pass interference. And now Jefferson behind the sticks on 3rd and 10.
Jefferson doesn't have to snap it before the end of the third quarter, and it doesn't look like they will. As 1 second now on that clock, it hits 0. 2 seconds before that play clock runs out, and we're through 3 quarters from Shenandoah Junction. The 4th and final quarter coming up after this 60-second break. Jefferson with the football, but down by 5, 22-17 is the Hurricane Redskin lead. We're back in 60 seconds. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
There are so many great things to say about the redesigned Honda CR-V. So to save time, we've condensed them down into one easy acronym. OMECUV-NAAHAWATESONT. That stands for our most exhilarating compact utility vehicle, now available as a hybrid and with a turbocharged engine standard on non-hybrid trims. See? Simple. The redesigned Honda CR-V. Contact your Honda dealer or shop online.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
"12 minutes left in this ball game. The fourth quarter is upon us here from Shenandoah Junction. 22-17 Hurricane with the lead over the homestanding Jefferson Cougars. 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 34-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation for Sammy Roberts. Play action pass. He's rolled to his right. Has to throw on the run. That one batted down by Heath Montgomery. The intended receiver, Spencer Powell. 4th down and 10, and Jefferson going to have to punt the football away.
I'm not sure it would have been a first down even if that one had gotten through to Gidney, who was the intended receiver. But another case where Sammy Roberts on the run could not get enough on that throw to be able to get it through the defender.
We'll see who comes out to punt this football. It has been kicking by committee the last several times, and it looks like it's Nathaniel Muley out to punt again as he jogs onto the field near the 20-yard line. Chase Hager stands just inside the 35-yard line as the lone return man back for Hurricane. Muley gets that almost blocked, but gets an end-over-end kick. Hager takes it about face high. Starts his return, breaks a couple of tackles. Now he bounces it to the outside. He's got a seams. He cuts up that far hash. Gets the 44-yard line where he is brought down. And, again, good starting field position for the Redskins.
Yeah, 36 yards on the punt, but you're looking at about 14 yards on that return. And, again, Hurricane kind of wins out on the change of possession. But hang on, penalty marker down.
A flag during the return. And
that's a huge break for Jefferson.
Yeah, that ball going to go back well inside where the return started, all the way back to the 20-yard line.
So minus 10, that'll be the first penalty of the second half for either team. And now 5 penalties for 30 yards whistled against Hurricane. So minus 10 on a hold, apparently, in that return.
Barrero is under center. He's got Tyrone Washington as the back behind him. Now bringing Hager in motion. Barrero takes that snap again, loses that football low, having to dive onto this Washington out of the backfield, and he is able to fall on the football. And right now, just having an issue holding on to the football is Hurricane.
Yeah, they've had 3 turnovers, a couple of fumbles, an interception. This ends up being a loss of close to 3 yards as they set that football down.
All the way back to the 17-yard line. That's where the 2nd down and 13 snap will come from.
Crazy part is that last one was up under center, so it was an issue on the exchange.
Barrero drops back to pass after almost not being able to hold onto the football. Quick screen out to Chase Hager. He gets what he needs for the first down and more across the 30-yard line up to the 33. That's enough to move the chains. First down, Redskins.
16 yards on the pass completion. And as you said, big gain there in a case where you've got a defender. Looked like it was Keyshawn Robinson, just a freshman, and this young man's going to learn as he goes on to break down and make that tackle. He came flying up there hard, got a shoulder on him, but didn't bring him down.
Matt, there hasn't been a clean snap in about 3 snaps for Hurricane. This one is clean. The give is to Riffle up the middle. Haven't called his name much out of the backfield.
No.
He gets across the 35 to the 36 before he is taken down by a host of tacklers. 56 in there. Once again, that is Jelani Hollis. We've called his name quite a bit on the defensive side of the football in this second half. 2nd down and 7 after the gain of 3 for Hurricane.
And we called Riffle's name on that big kick return, 80 yards after Jefferson took the early 3-0 lead. But outside of that, had not called his name with an offensive snap.
That kick return, I think our leading candidate for our Orsini's electrifying play of the game so far.
Right now. Although that 35-yard pass completion on 4th down for Jefferson was pretty good.
Hager gets it on the wide receiver sweep. He's got blockers out in front. Turns that corner. He's across the 40-yard line with a lot of green in front of him. Over midfield into Jefferson Cougar territory before Hager is brought down at the 44-yard line. First down, Hurricane. Another strong run for Hager as he's been shown on that sweep or just a little dump pass an awful lot today in the Redskin offense.
That one looked more like the legitimate handoff.
That was a hand. That was a legitimate sweep.
So that is the jet sweep in the first carry for 20 yards for Hager. Yeah, they pick up a huge chunk right there.
Under 10 to play in the ball game. Pistol formation. Barrero stands at the 49-yard line, takes that snap, give off this near side, and inside the 40-yard line down to the 36. On that run is 41, Elijah Rivera. Called his name quite a few times in this ball game. That's a good gain on first down as he is going to be marked out at the 36-yard line. Second down and short coming up, second down and 3.
Yeah, that gained close to 8 yards as they set it down. He had just one carry in the first half, but remember, had that big 26-yard touchdown catch.
Second down and a long 2, short 3, whichever way you want to slice it. There's the handoff again to Rivera off left tackle. He gets the first down and many more inside the 30 down to the 25 before he is taken down. But we have a holding penalty on the offense, so bring that gain back.
A couple of holding penalties hurting Hurricane in this possession. The first came on the punt itself, and instead of having the football out near midfield, they started the drive back at their own 20, and now this one's going to cost them as well.
But won't cost them much. That hold well into the run. So they'll only lose about 3 yards on that penalty. Ball back to the 40-yard line is where the nose of the football is. Second down and 5. I think it's second down and 6 now for Hurricane. Again, it's Rivera. Actually, the pitch goes to Hager, who turns the corner. He gets the first down inside the 35-yard line. A little trickery in the backfield. Rivera looked like he was going to get the handoff, and Hager came from right to left, and the quick shovel to him as the speed of Chase Hager shown once again. First down, Redskins. That football at the 31-yard line on the far hash.
Yeah, they have really put together a nice drive. This will be the 8th play of this possession that started at their own 20.
And right now, very happy to be taking each second off the clock they can. Now under 8:30 in the ball game. Last week of the regular season across the Mountain State, playoff pairings are announced Sunday. The color code map announced on 5 o'clock on Friday or on Saturday night. First down and 10 pass out of the backfield. It was Rivera, the intended receiver, not able to get there cleanly. Muley in the way of that pass being completed. Second down and 10.
The Cougars have to find a way to get a stop here. Turnover would be great. They forced 3 already with 8:13 left in this one. 22-17. Jefferson down. Do not want to see Hurricane get into that end zone again.
Second down and 10, ball on the far side hash, 31-yard line, 2 receivers to the far side of the formation. Barrero under center. He gives the fullback handoff right up the middle. Still churning those feet is Brogan Brown. He is finally wrapped up near the 25-yard line. They'll give him the 26. And that's a good gain on second down. Third down and manageable now coming up for the Redskins in a huge third down, and you would imagine would be a huge fourth down. At this juncture of the field, I can't imagine Hurricane trying to kick a field goal or punting. So Jefferson's going to need 2 defensive stops, and with under 8 to play, they need him now. Whistle blows and a timeout taken by Jefferson Cougar head coach Craig Hunter. We'll take the 60-second break as well. Back with 7:39 remaining in quarter number 4. It's Hurricane 22, Jefferson 17. We're back in 60 seconds.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Orsini's, not just an appliance store anymore. They're your one-stop resource for all home needs, whether it's custom kitchen design, countertops, or cabinets, or check out their new sleep studio with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For all of your outdoor living needs, Orsini's has Gladiator Garage Works, Traeger grills, barbecue accessories, barbecue rubs and sauces, and every flavor wood pellets. Visit their brand new 8,200 square foot showroom at 360 Hack Wilson Way, 304-267-7251, Orsinis.com.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium out of the timeout. 7:39 remaining in the football game. Jefferson down by 5, 22-17. It's the Hurricane Redskins with the football and a crucial third down in this football game. But as we said going into the break, if they don't get it here, it'll be a crucial fourth down, as at this point of the field, the ball at the 26-yard line. Can't imagine they punt it or try to kick the field goal. Barrero under center, 2 receivers in the far side of the formation. A handoff to this near side. It's Riffle trying to turn the corner, nowhere to go, bottled up, and that's going to be a loss of a few. Good defensive attack for Jefferson, and Riffle nowhere to go with the football.
Yeah, nice job. They got some penetration and then forced the play here to the left side of the defense, right side of the offense. Had several players there to fill that hole for loss of a yard.
Ball back to the 27-yard line, 4th down and 6. And as we expected, that Redskin offense staying on the field. Pistol formation, one back and a blocking back to the left. That blocking back is Brown. One receiver to each side of the formation. On that far side is J.T. James. This near side is Chase Hager, who has been the offensive dynamite for this football team so far in this one for Hurricane. Whistles blow, and we get a timeout taken by the Redskins. We'll take the 60-second break as well, with 6:54 remaining in quarter number 4. It's Hurricane 22, Jefferson 17. We're back in 60 seconds.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
Energy is something you never really think about, even though you use it every day. With Roach Energy's no run-out guarantee and 24-hour customer support, that's just the way we like it. So when you think about it, call Roach Energy for all your oil and propane needs. Ask about our pre-buy and budget programs. Roach Energy, 304-262-4271.
Out of the Hurricane Redskin timeout with 6:54 remaining in the ball game. It's the Redskins with the football in the lead, 22-17, but a crucial fourth down and 6. Ball will be snapped from the 27-yard line. Barrero drops back to pass. He's looking for the out route. That one deflected on its way there, and Jefferson going to take over on downs. The deflection coming from 45, Nathaniel Muley. Biggest defensive play of the game so far for Jefferson.
Yeah, the big defensive end able to get a paw up and knock that one down. It was an out route to the man who had come in motion, Chase Hager, and Hager had a little bit of separation, but a great job by Muley to knock it down.
6 minutes and 50 seconds. Jefferson needs the end zone. 2 receivers to the far side, now 2 to the near side as the receiver comes into the formation late. Sammy Roberts in the shotgun formation, trying for that hard count. No dice along that defensive line. Now smacks those hands together. They give up the middle. That is Blau taking it near the 30-yard line, but swallowed up immediately. And once again, 32, Brogan Brown in there on the tackle. Short gain on first down. They'll give them 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Yeah, didn't quite get to that 30, so to the 29-yard line. I guess you keep them honest a little bit with that run. And at some point, though, you're definitely going to have to put it into the arms of Sammy Roberts.
Roberts again trying that hard count. Again, he got him a couple of times in the first half. Hasn't had much luck with that hard count in the second half. Good discipline along that defensive line for Hurricane. Roberts takes that snap. He's looking right now, rolling right. Pump fakes and nowhere to go, retreating, and he is swallowed up all the way back at the 15-yard line. A huge sack for Hurricane. It looks like a 53. Deacon Pavanis on the sack, and a crucial one for Hurricane.
Minus 14 yards. Roberts had a chance to maybe get rid of that football, elected not to throw a risky throw. Second time he has been sacked, and now 3 carries, minus 25 yards in this one. Huge loss.
3rd down and 21 as that ball at the 16-yard line. I'm not sure what play you go to in the playbook for a 3rd and 20-plus, but I guess we'll see what head coach Craig Hunter dials up here. It's going to be a run right up the middle, and Blau gets a good chunk of yardage, but not nearly what he's going to need for the first down. Gets right near that line of the original line of scrimmage before he is stood up and eventually taken down. 4th down and 9 coming up for the Cougars, and they're going to punt the football away. Still enough time to see if that defense has one more stop left in them.
Yeah, gain of about 13 yards as they play it conservatively. And now just 1 of 11 on 3rd down conversions in this game for this Jefferson offense.
That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games.
And yet they still have a chance right now, down 22-17.
Ball did get up to the original line of scrimmage at that 28-yard line. Chase Hager is the return man back. Muley gets that punt away. Side-by-side kick. Knuckleballer hits at the 36-yard line and goes out of bounds inside the 35, down at the 33. And Hurricane going to try to run out the clock or find the end zone once again. I think either or gets them the win in this football game and gets them their 4th win of the season. 3-2 coming into this football game. Jefferson looking for win number 4. They came in 3-5.
Again, the question, what will the county map look like for Hurricane? Even though they get to 4-2, they may be one of those teams on the outside looking in, very much like the 3 teams, it appears, out of Berkeley County.
37-yard line near hash is where the football will be snapped on 1st and 10 for the Redskins. It is Barrera under center. The give to the fullback right up the middle across the 35-yard line to the 37. Brogan Brown on the carry. At this juncture of the game, Hurricane will take a gain of 4 every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Absolutely. Just the 3rd carry, 11 yards now for the fullback. 6'2", 212. Tough to bring down.
Ball up to the 37-yard line. And Hurricane taking their time.
Oh, Jefferson down to just 1 timeout. Remember, they've already used a pair of timeouts in the second half.
And that's going to have to be saved for a 3rd down or 4th down later in the ball game. Barrera once again under center. The handoff going to the tailback who gets the 40-yard line before stood up. Not sure whether that was Washington or Riffle. That is a number 9. That is Washington on the carry. Brings up a 3rd down and 3 as they will mark his forward progress up to the 40-yard line. Hurricane still in their own territory and a big 3rd down for this Jefferson defense.
Yeah, really got to make the stop here as that clock winds down to 3:20 and counting in this one. It's still 20 seconds on that play clock. Hurricane ready at the line. Now looks like after trying to draw Jefferson offside will take a little more time.
Play clock down to 8. Barrero under center. He will take that snap. That give right up the middle. That's Rivera taking it and stuffed after a gain of 2. That'll bring up 4th down. And what do you call here if you're head coach Jeremy Taylor?
Punt.
You say that, but a 1st down may give them the gain.
Yeah, but at the same time, the way your defense has been playing, if you don't get it here, you have an extremely short field. I can't imagine. You may try to get Jefferson to jump offside, but I think you've got to punt.
I was thinking they were going to take a timeout and let that play clock run all the way down. That may be what they end up doing. Barrero now under center, 8 seconds, 7 seconds on that play clock. 4th down and 1 from the 42-yard line. Barrero dropping back, and it looks like Coach Taylor will use a timeout, his second of the half. We'll take the 60-second break as well. 2:16 remaining in the ball game. 4th and 1 coming up when we come back. It is Hurricane over Jefferson at the moment. 22-17. We're back in 60 seconds.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation products, and we want motivated individuals to join our team right here in Ranson, West Virginia. Right now, we're recruiting to fill positions on the production line, in operations, in engineering, in maintenance, trades, and in site leadership and supervision. Listen to what Janine, one of our production supervisors, has to say about working at Rockwool.
Working here at Rockwool is awesome. I've always enjoyed it. I have personally brought somebody in and they now enjoy their job here as well. So definitely somewhere that's great to work for on all levels.
If you want a well-paying job and the potential for a rewarding career, visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
Hurricane elects to punt the football away. Ripito is the punter, stands back at the 27-yard line. High snap, but able to corral it in. Sends the return man back. That is Gidney as he retreats. That football bounces the 22-yard line before taking a sideways hop and downed inside the 25, right around the 22-yard line.
37 yards on the punt with no return, 2:07 left, and one timeout in the pocket of head coach Craig Hunter as the Jefferson Cougars take over.
A long field to go, and they need a touchdown. 2:07 remaining in the game. Ball at the 21-yard line on that far side hash. It's been one big play for the Jefferson offense in this second half that has allowed them to stay in this football game. A long connection on a 4th down from Roberts to Spencer Powell. 2 receivers to this near side, 2 to the far side. A new quarterback in the ball game as he completes a pass out to the far side, the 25-yard line, and looking to see who that quarterback is. Looks like a 2. That's Christian Petrozello.
Yeah.
Petrozello, haven't seen him at all in this game. A freshman, goes 5'11", 150 pounds, and for a freshman, how do you like this situation?
Yeah. Hey, completes that first pass, a gain one of about 5 yards.
And that ball up now to the 26-yard line. Petrozello in the shotgun formation once again, 2 receivers to each side. He takes that shotgun snap, gets rushed, moves up in the pocket, now retreats and nowhere to go with it. Can't get rid of it either. He'll take the sack on that far sideline. That'll be a loss of about 5 and bring up a 3rd down and long as we're under 2 minutes to play, 1:45 on a running 4th quarter clock.
3rd sack for this Hurricane defense and a pair of sacks in the last 4 plays. Clock winds.
Petrozello is in the shotgun formation. He's got Christian Blau to his left along with 3 receivers. 1 receiver to the far side. 3 down linemen, now 4 rush. Petrozello steps up in the pocket. He'll run near side. Throws on the run. That one almost intercepted, but contact made as the receiver hit the deck prior to the football getting to him, and that should be a pass interference penalty. Move that football up 15 yards, and Jefferson catching a break.
Kason Lanza, the intended target. He's the tight end, and yep, there was contact with 3 defenders around the intended receiver.
And Sammy Roberts on the medical table on the sideline. So an injury, I'm guessing, on one of the quarterback hits on that last possession. Bringing in Petrozello. Again, just a freshman. 1:14 remaining in the ball game. Let's see what the freshman can do. Ball up to the 42-yard line. Jefferson needs a touchdown, down by 5.
37.
37, correct. There's the snap. Petrozello rolls to that far side, going to throw on the run, ends up going out of bounds. Jefferson wanting a flag as contact, a ball that was uncatchable on that far side. They're not going to get it. 2nd down and 10.
And good coverage that time. Quarterback on a roll. Kind of shortens that field a little bit for him. Could not find a receiver open.
1:10 remaining in the ball game, and Jefferson needs to start moving in a hurry. Just 1 timeout left in the game as well. Two receivers to each side. It's Blau in the backfield with Petruzzello. Petruzzello takes that shotgun snap, immediately forced to his left. Going to try to throw on the run, going deep downfield. That one caught at the 40-yard line, then goes in and out of the hands of the receiver. Keyshawn Robinson had it at the 41 and could not hold on to it. That would have been a huge momentum play for this Jefferson offense.
Matt, if he brings that in, do you realize that would have been freshman to freshman in this difficult situation? Some young talent out on the field right now in a crucial situation for Jefferson.
Now brings up a 3rd down and 10. Obvious 4-down territory. They have 2 plays to get that 1st down. Would like to get a portion of the yardage needed on this 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line. Attempted hard count. Now he will move the running back from one side to the other. That's Blau. Now moving from left to right in the formation. 3 receivers to the near side. Petruzzello smacks those hands together, takes a snap and rolls to his right. Going for an out pattern. Powell was the intended receiver and nowhere in the vicinity of that throw. Incomplete. 4th down and 10 coming up for the Cougars, and this is the ball game.
Just 2 of 13 now on 3rd down conversions. The Achilles heel this evening for Jefferson.
Craig Hunter going to use his final timeout of the game. We'll take a 60-second break as well, but don't go anywhere. 4th down and 10 for the ball game when we come back. 59.8 remaining in the game. 22-17 Hurricane with lead over Jefferson. We're back in 60 seconds.
McCrae is dedicated to protecting our employees and you, our customers, as we provide our communities essential heating, cooling, and indoor air quality needs during these trying times. Take advantage of McCrae's exclusive offer. Purchase a new Train high-efficiency system and receive a $1,000 instant rebate plus 0% interest financing for 48 months on qualifying products. Hurry, this offer won't last. Visit McCraeWay.com/TV today to learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
4th down and 10. Jefferson needs this to stay alive in this game. A turnover on downs, and Hurricane will go home victorious. 59.8 seconds left in the game. Ball at the 37-yard line. 4th down and 10. Christian Petruzzello, the freshman quarterback, in for Sammy Roberts, who's injured. Petruzzello takes a snap, fires to that far sideline. It is complete, but it looks like it's going to be a yard short, and it is. They needed 10. The pass completion for 9. Hurricane takes over on downs and a few snaps of the football, and they are going to make the 5.5-hour trip back to Putnam County victorious.
Pass completion to Spencer Powell. He ran the quick out pattern, but he didn't get to the sticks in a situation like that.
You got to know where the yard.
Yes.
You got to know the yard to get to.
Oh, that hurts.
54.2 left. Jefferson with no timeouts as the parents in the stands start to make their way to the exits.
A big win for Hurricane. Give them credit. Long a trip to get here. They do get here, and it looks like they're going back home with the win.
Victory formation, shotgun victory formation. I won't complain too much about that. Barrero takes a knee, and it looks like one more snap should do it.
It is a unique way of doing it.
I don't know why you would risk a bad snap.
Right.
Get under center. Even if it's a bad snap, you fall on it. I will, and they've run plays from under center today. It's not like they've only run out of the shotgun, so it's foreign. They've run that offset I formation. I will never understand that. Shepard does it at the collegiate level. Drives me up a wall, in case you can't tell. 20 seconds.
No idea. I had honestly no idea. None.
9 on the play clock. Barrero needs one more snap of the football. Victory formation in the shotgun. 1 second, takes that snap, drops to a knee at the 39-yard line, and we will count down the final 5 seconds in this one as the clocks now do hit 0 here at Cougar Stadium. It is the visitors, the Hurricane Redskins go home with the win, 22-17. A 2-minute break to take, then we come back and start the post-game show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, featuring a full lunch and dinner menu with daily evening specials from 5 to 9, served in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the full menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Your final here from Cougar Stadium in Shenandoah Junction, Hurricane 22, Jefferson 17. We're back to start the post-game show after this 2-minute timeout.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
When you do the same thing for 135 years, you learn to do it well. For 135 years, we've been helping families through the hardest times of their lives. That's because we're a family as well. When your family loses a loved one, we're here to help. We're Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
Cougar Stadium, Hurricane gets the win over the Cougars 22-17. Jefferson going to finish their regular season 3-6, while the Redskins will finish 4-2. Matt, it was a defensive battle throughout, but didn't start that way. We thought this was going to be a shootout kind of game, and with these two offenses, that wouldn't have been out of the question. But the offenses halted, really slowed to a crawl for the most part in this game, and the defenses stood tall.
Yeah, it was a 13-10 lead for Hurricane at the intermission. Jefferson got the first points of the game with 1:31 to play in the opening quarter. A 15-play, 67-yard, 8-minute, 33-second drive, capped by a 21-yard field goal from the sophomore Orrin Humphreys. Jefferson led 3-0, but the ensuing kickoff returned by Jeremiah Riffle, roughly 80 yards for a score. The extra point going off the left upright from place kicker Moore Ilderton, and it was a 6-3 Hurricane lead. After one in quarter number 2, Jefferson would take a 10-6 lead after an interception from Spencer Powell, the second turnover of the first half for Hurricane. The Cougars needed 5 plays to cover 46 yards in a minute and 50 seconds. A 1-yard touchdown run for Christian Blau, and that made it 10-6 Cougars as the extra point was up and good for Nathan Muley. Hurricane, though, would get the last laugh with 18 seconds left in the first half. They cap a 5-play, 51-yard drive. Very well executed play on a wheel route out of the backfield. It was the quarterback Ishmael Barrero connecting with Elijah Rivera from 26 yards out, and Hurricane led 13-10 as we got our second half underway. Jefferson got the football to start that second half. Couldn't do anything with it. A 6-play drive, did get 1 first down. Ultimately had to punt the football away, and Hurricane on their first possession of the second half would get a touchdown. A 6-play, 63-yard drive capped by a 2-yard touchdown run for Tyrone Washington, the starting tailback, making it 19-10, and the extra point making it 20-10. It would be a 20-17 score with 4:43 to play in the third as Jefferson put together a 6-play, 64-yard scoring drive. It was a 4th and 2 from their own 44 in the midst of the drive when Sammy Roberts connected with Spencer Powell on a 35-yard pass down the sideline. That helped to set things up for Christian Blau, who went in from 20 yards out, his second rushing touchdown of the day. 20-17. Jefferson was back to within 3, but with just a minute left in quarter number 3, a high snap on a punt went over the head of the punter as Isaiah Fritz was waiting for that snap. It ultimately ended up in the back of the end zone where Fritz grabbed it. He was hit, taken down, and Hurricane gets the safety to get to 22-17. And by George, that would be the final, as the defenses would really live up to their billing here, as it was a defensive struggle throughout.
All right, that is a recap of how this one played out. Another 2-minute break to take. When we come back, we will give you the stats from this one. Your final, Jefferson losing to Hurricane 22-17. Jefferson finishes the regular season 3-6. Hurricane finishes 4-2. Back with more of the Palace Lounge post-game show after this 2-minute timeout.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg offers hand-cut, locally sourced steaks, fresh seafood, and sandwiches with great daily specials like 75-cent wings all day Monday, prime rib on Tuesday, New York strip on Wednesday, and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Ask for the lunch punch card and have lunch on the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard. And don't forget the Big Apple Lounge on Sater Drive in Inwood.
When it comes to breast cancer, early detection is the key to saving lives. The first 4 Saturdays in October, WVU Medicine is offering 3D mammogram screening clinics to women 40 and older at our women's imaging centers in Ranson and Spring Mills for just $60. This discounted fee is designed to help patients who haven't met their deductible, whose insurance doesn't include a mammogram with an annual exam, or for those with no insurance. Schedule your 3D mammogram with WVU Medicine today by calling 1-888-802-2734, option 2.
This is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I want to thank you for your continued support of helping Hagerstown Ford's efforts to be #1 in the region. As we get closer to this extremely aggressive goal, I want to recap why Hagerstown Ford should be your only consideration when buying your next vehicle. Number 1, we have the best prices from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Hershey, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. I assure you, price will not be the reason you don't buy from Hagerstown Ford. Number 2, we have a real return policy that's better than Walmart. Seriously, if you don't like it, return it. We'll give you 3 days to make sure you love your new ride. And finally, we'll bring your new car, truck, or SUV to you, just like Amazon does. Never step foot in a dealership again. Stop the silly back and forth negotiations that make everyone crazy. It's dumb, and it's a total waste of time. Besides, we hate it worse than you do. Simply log on to HagerstownFord.com and let us make your next buying process fun, easy, and risk-free. What do you got to lose? Visit HagerstownFord.com and let us cater to you. See dealer for details.
Welcome back into the Palace Lounge post-game show. Hurricane getting the win over Jefferson tonight, 22-17. It's time to take a look at some stats from this one, brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. Hey, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have these solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring, too. Learn more by calling our buddy Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. Matt, let's start with Hurricane.
You got it. Hurricane we have unofficially with 249 total yards running, 50 plays, 22 for 106 yards in the first half, 28 plays, 143 yards in the second half. It breaks down to 152 rushing yards and 97 passing yards. They would commit 7 penalties for 55 yards, go 3 of 9 on third down conversions, 0 of 1 on fourth down conversions, and we would have the Redskins finishing out the evening with about 13 first downs. Ishmael Barrero, starting quarterback, 8 of 19 passing, threw for 97 yards, threw for a touchdown, also threw an interception. Hurricane with 3 turnovers in the game as they added a couple of fumbles as well. Helping to lead that ground game, 9 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown for Tyrone Washington, And that was kind of the crux of the offense, although you got to definitely mention Elijah Rivera, who had 3 carries for 23 yards, but probably more important than anything, he had that 26-yard touchdown reception with 18 seconds left in the first half, and obviously a huge score in a 22-17 victory. For the Jefferson Cougars, 36 plays on the first half for 166 yards, 27 in the second half for just 98 yards. That's 264 yards of offense on 63 plays, 168 coming through the air, 96 on the ground. Jefferson did not have a penalty in the second half, so the Cougars finishing this contest pretty well as far as penalties. We would have them at 2 for 20 yards on the evening. Their big Achilles heel in this one, Matt, couldn't keep drives alive. 2 of 13 on third down conversions. They were 2 of 3 on fourth down, but the 4th and 10 from their own 37 with 54 seconds left, an out route that picked them up only 9 of the 10 yards needed. Ultimately, their undoing as Hurricane was able to run out the clock. Individually, Sammy Roberts, we had him completing 14 of 23 passes for 154 yards, but went out late in this one in that final drive. It was the freshman Christian Petrozello who went 2 for 5 for 14 yards, 20 carries, 85 yards for Christian Blau on the evening, as he would be the leading rusher after taking over for the starter Evan Toole, who went down to injury in that first half. Toole had 8 carries for 41 yards. And Matt, a story of the night, as we already mentioned, not only the third down conversions, but injuries tonight for these Jefferson Cougars.
Yeah, a handful of them, and coming at key positions at not the most ideal point of the game, especially when you look at Sammy Roberts on that last drive. Post-game stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. Hey, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have these solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring too. Learn more by calling our buddy Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. Another 2-minute break to take back at the studio. When we come back, we will give you some awards from this one: our Collision of the Game, Player of the Game, and Electrifying Play of the Game. Your final from Shenandoah Junction tonight, it was Hurricane 22, Jefferson 17. We're back in 2 minutes.
Rockwool is one of the world's leading manufacturers of stone wool insulation, and we're hiring people like you to join our team in Ranson, West Virginia. At Rockwool, we believe our success is built on a foundation of teamwork, and that all employees excel in an atmosphere of trust, respect, communication, and support. Listen to what Sam, a Rockwool supervisor, has to say.
The one thing I like most about working at Rockwool is just the companionship amongst employees, the teamwork. It's kind of like a family atmosphere. Everybody works together. It's almost like a second family, and that's something that I enjoy.
If you want a well-paying job with a company where we all help each other succeed, then visit rockwooljobs.com/radio for information on all current job openings. Apply now at rockwooljobs.com/radio.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
We all know what a good time looks like, but what is it made of? We can think of a few things. In this case, it's handcrafted food to gather around, an ever-changing variety of wine, and a Friday night. Do yourself a favor. Experience the good in a good time.
Welcome back into the post-game show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, featuring a full lunch and dinner menu with daily evening specials from 5 to 9, served in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the full menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Matt, it's award time. Let's start with the collision of the game, sponsored by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, Cody's offers superior customer service at a great price, performed by experienced, certified technicians. Find them online at codysauto.com or phone them at 304-901-4777. Which one of the hits by Brogan Brown do you want to choose, or do you get multiple awards for about 4 different hits we saw from him in this game?
I was just about to say, take your pick from a number of hits from Brogan Brown, and unfortunately ended up being a hit that sent him out with a hip injury. But honorable mention goes to Roger Forshee, who put out a pretty good lick and unfortunately ended up with the injury on that play as well. But yeah, I think probably that very first one from Brogan Brown really kind of set the tone in this one.
So congratulations to Brogan Brown, our Cody's Auto Body collision of the game. Electrifying play of the game brought to you by Orsini's in Martinsburg, offering top names in kitchen and laundry appliances, and for you grill masters, Traeger wood-fired grills. Find out more online at Orsinis.com or their new location at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. It's got to be the Jeremiah Riffle 80-yard kick return for a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a squib kick, a bouncer along the far side hash mark, and as that ball kind of bounced around and then eventually got picked up, I think it got Jefferson kind of out of those lanes, and it opened that quick hole. He darted through it and took it down that far sideline for the score.
I will throw an honorable mention in there. The wheel route touchdown at the end of the first half that went from Barrero to Elijah Rivera.
Yeah.
I think that was a big turning point in that game, and to have that touchdown thrown right at the end of the half, I think that was big as well. So I think a couple of them.
Yeah, for Jefferson, Spencer Powell had a couple of huge catches, including the 35-yard reception on that 4th and 2, and then, the one that we didn't even realize he held on to, where there was pass interference on the play as well, able to fight through that contact and still make the catch. A couple of candidates there as well.
Congratulations to a couple of recipients for the electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's in Martinsburg. Stop by and see him at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. Player of the game time, and this one's tough. It's brought to you by McCray Heating and Air Conditioning Services, named America's most trusted HVAC brand for 6 consecutive years. McCray Heating and Air. Visit them at McCrayWay.com. I said it was tough, but I think it's tough because I think we're going to have 2 different opinions on this. Mine is going to go to Chase Hager, but I don't think that's where yours is going.
I'm not even sure, because for Hurricane, it was a total team effort. I don't know that there is a single guy that jumps out to you. The one that I would say maybe is Elijah Rivera, who comes in off the bench. We hadn't seen him in the backfield. He gets like 1 carry in that drive late in the first half and then catches the touchdown on that wheel route. And then late in the game, he's back in there and picking up some yardage and helping to close things out in those final couple of possessions. So I could look at him as well.
So we're going with Chase Hager? Is that?
Well, that's what you said.
We got to pick one of them.
We'll make it a dual award in this situation. It was a team effort.
Are you being politically correct over here?
Look, they're still counting votes all across the country. Let's just keep counting our votes here and say we have a pair of winners.
Players of the game brought to you by
There you go.
Heating and Air Conditioning Services. All right, one more 2-minute break to take. When we come back, we will set you up for a whole lot of we don't know what coming up next week in the first round of the West Virginia State playoffs. We will give you what we know right now, which, again, isn't a whole heck of a lot, but we'll try to set you up for what our options may be. Our final 2-minute break in the Palace Lounge post-game show. Then we're back. The final in this one, Hurricane 22, Jefferson 17. We're back in 2 minutes.
This is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I want to thank you for your continued support of helping Hagerstown Ford's efforts to be #1 in the region. As we get closer to this extremely aggressive goal, I want to recap why Hagerstown Ford should be your only consideration when buying your next vehicle. Number 1, we have the best prices from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Hershey, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. I assure you, price will not be the reason you don't buy from Hagerstown Ford. Number 2, we have a real return policy that's better than Walmart. Seriously, if you don't like it, return it. We'll give you 3 days to make sure you love your new ride. And finally, we'll bring your new car, truck, or SUV to you, just like Amazon does. Never step foot in a dealership again. Stop the silly back-and-forth negotiations that make everyone crazy. It's dumb, and it's a total waste of time. Besides, we hate it worse than you do. Simply log on to HagerstownFord.com and let us make your next buying process fun, easy, and risk-free. What do you got to lose? Visit HagerstownFord.com and let us cater to you. See dealer for details.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
To Cougar Stadium on the campus of Jefferson High School in Shenandoah Junction, West Virginia. It is time to close out our broadcast to set up what is next, but we really have no clue. It all comes down to tomorrow at 5 o'clock when next week's color code map comes out. And with that being said, doesn't look like Berkeley County is going to be in the gold. It would be astonishing if Berkeley County was gold tomorrow night. Jefferson County still looks like they are going to be in the gold. The only question from here on out is will the SSAC keep the idea they had to just bump everybody up if your county is orange and you're not able to play? It looks like Washington is going to be a playoff team regardless. So our plan would be to follow Jefferson wherever that may be. If it's at home in Charlestown, if it's somewhere around the state, our goal.
Follow Washington.
Yeah, that's how this post-game show has gone so far. Follow Washington around the state and or into Charlestown. If Jefferson's in the playoffs, we would try to do that as well, or vice versa. We will follow the teams we can, schedule permitting. That is what we know at the moment. We'll know more tomorrow night.
What we do know is that a statement was put out, and I will read it to you. This was on Twitter, that the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission, the West Virginia Department of Education, the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources, and the state coronavirus czar understand the importance of sports and extracurricular activities to our education system. However, during this pandemic, we will agree the health of our students must be the top priority. While there have been interest and inquiries into changing our metrics and protocols and allowing student athletes to participate in upcoming tournament play, we cannot sideline student health. Based on the recommendations of health professionals, WVSSAC Executive Director Bernie Dolan and WVDE Superintendent Clayton Birch will continue to support the use of the Saturday Education Map and DHHR County Alert System Map to guide decisions on which counties may participate in upcoming tournaments. These are difficult decisions. However, they are decisions that must be made. I will fully disagree with the statement that's been put out by each of those organizations. I call bull because they've played all fall, and you get to this point. I agree with Britt Sherman. You let us start, let us finish. We'll find out if in some way, shape, or form some common sense comes out in the next 48 hours, or whether we follow through with this system and have the COVID football tournament at the end of the year as opposed to the state football championship tournament where a lot of your top teams may not participate. End of opinion and end of my column. We can wrap up our postgame at any moment in time.
Big thanks to all of our sponsors who help us put on high school football, not just tonight, but throughout the season, and hopefully into the postseason if we have that opportunity with the color code map. Also, a big thanks to all the folks here at Cougar Stadium, both head coaches, for interviews throughout the week, along with rosters, stats, etc., etc. Back at the studio is Donald Kenny. Our sideline man tonight on the camera and producing was Colin McLaughlin. Our TV10 cameraman up top the press box was John Alderton. For Matt Miller, I am Matt Crawford, reminding the final in tonight's game. It was Hurricane 22, Jefferson 17. Until hopefully next week. We'll see you then.
Let's go. And that concludes today's post-game show. Today's game has been brought to you.
Kent Parsons